Everybody, and welcome back. So, for today, we are going to be playing another game called Mushroom Oasis. What's my cat's name? Petals. And your cat is a male. Petal has been missing for a while now. Well, screw you. This is how I start off the game. He was an indoor cat, but he had a tendency of a wildcat on a mission trying to leave whatever the door was open. Catios and playtime just wasn't enough for the little mister. I figured he'd come running if I left out some food by the porch. 3 days later, still no cat. I tried everything I could of, asking around the neighborhood, putting up missing cat posters. Sadly, nothing came for my efforts. I could search for him during the day since I had work keeping me occupied. And there's only so many hours in the evening I could yell around the streets looking for him. There was only one place left I could think of he might have run off to. The woods by my house, right across the street. I'll definitely caught him eyeing the birds and squirrels that ran alongside the perimeters from the front window, his teeth clicking in excitement. I was no outdoorsy person by any means. In fact, the thought of going in there scares me. But I had to find him, or at least try. The first weekend that came around, I packed up some water, Petals' favorite treats, and a compass to be safe. I wasn't sure where to even begin looking for him, so I started walking in a straight line, calling out his name every few steps. It certainly didn't take long for me to realize I was way in over my head. Why did I think this was such a good idea? It was so hard to find my bearings with the surrounding trees. I didn't want to admit I was lost, at least not yet. I could only squint down at my compass as the needles spun slowly. I could only squint down. Oh, okay. Pretty sure they weren't made to do that. Did I really bring a busted compass in my first venture out in the woods? I figured that would just be my luck. The only thing thinking risking my own safety was my own incompetence. I shook my head hastily. No time for negativity. Petal was out there somewhere cold and lost, hungry. I had to keep going. It's been hours. I'm so lost. I don't even know why I kept searching even after the moment I realized that. Why did I think this was a good idea? Hunger had been gone in my stomach for a while now. Having missed breakfast and lunch altogether, the heat, the humidity from the afternoon sun was unbearable, but the cooling air did nothing to soothe me. Even if I were to head home, I couldn't even pinpoint where that was. What do people even do in this situation? I knew it was a baseless optimism, but walking onwards was really the only thing I could think of to do. Surely I come across something familiar. I trudged on my shoes carefully, avoiding the tree routes intertwined across the forest floor. But in my weakened state, plus the approaching darkness, I find myself stumbling through the rough terrain. My feet hit something soft jutting out of the ground. My hands shot out as I lost my balance. My feet clumsily tried to find purchases as I wobbled backwards, arms flapping. And poof. What? My shoe has landed smack dab in a circle of mushrooms, the brunt of it causing a whimsy cloud to interrupt from the clusters. Ah, shit, that's a cat outline. Nah. I stuck my house in the elbow to avoid breathing it in. I stuck my nose. Sorry, I'm distracted. That does look like a cat. I could differentiate one tree leaf from another from the life of me, but I'm pretty sure humans aren't supposed to inhale whatever the hell this was. Okay. It smelled strongly of rotten wood and wet dirt. Even as it cleared, something shiny quickly caught my attention. I stooped down to pick it up, gasping under my breath. It was Petals' collar. That cat dead. That cat's dead. Covered in whatever the hell those mushrooms released. I looked around desperately for any signs of him. Petal! Psst, 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 psst. I coughed from inhaling some of the remaining dust floating in the air. I should really stay clear from this. Pocketing Petal's collar, I retreated carefully until I could breathe again. Stepping back, I could still smell it. It must have stuck to my hair and clothes. A quick once-over confirmed my suspicion with a slight cringe. A thin yet generous coating of it covered my sleeves and jeans. I leaned against a tree, dusting off my clothing in a naive attempt to get the dust and smell out to no avail. If anything, it felt like I'm breathing more of it in. What used to be a musty now turned sweet, and I found myself inhaling even deeper, trying to pinpoint the smell. Cucumbers? It smelled like fresh cucumbers. A tingling feeling crept up with my hands and neck, pinpricks spreading across my limbs as a strange heat raced my face. I started to feel drunk and woozy. My sense was numb. It should freak me out, and yet a strange comfort washed over me. I should lie down. Right now, in fact. My legs gave out from underneath me, my body tumbling over at any awkward angle. I laid there and stared and stared and stared. It was nice here. A peaceful calm. The perfect place for a nap even. My eyes grew heavy as I swam in and out of consciousness. Yeah, a nap really sounds good right now. Oh, lots of critters passing through lately. Sorry this happened to you, little one. It could have been anyone, but it had to be you. Huh? Wait, a human? How do you end up all the way out here? Still breathing, too. Ah, jeez. I can't leave you here. What should I do? I woke up with a jolt. It was warm but comforting, so I can feel the weight of a blanket on me as I tried to sit up. I couldn't move my body. My fingers twitched uselessly at my sides as my eyes darted around in panic. Glazing around, I could see the interior of the cabin, or at least the ceiling of once. I couldn't see much past the corner of my eyes. Where was I? How did I get here? A desperate feeling rose in my chest. I had to leave, right now. It was wrong. I wasn't meant to be here. I could hear the cackling of fire nearby like the source of warmth I had felt on waking up. I could also hear footsteps approaching. Oh, I'm pretending to be asleep. I shut my eyes quickly, hoping they hadn't noticed. I slowed down my breathing, willing my face muscles to stay still. From besides me, someone chuckled softly. I already know you're awake, Firefly. Come on now. I'm not gonna hurt you. He seems so sweet. I fluttered my eyelids, straining to look at the person's approach. My eyes wet as I took in their appearance. The protrusions from their forehead catch my attention. Not to mention the green skin. The stranger didn't sense my uneasy as they heaved a sigh of relief. You're awake. That's good. Very, very good. How are you feeling? I blinked. Oh, sorry, I forgot about that. Here. The person held a cup to my lips, a strong, sweet smell coming from the rim. A gentle hand grabbed my chin to open my mouth. I couldn't even move to resist. Don't worry. I'll help you feel better, I promise. Drink up. As the liquid hit my tongue, all I could feel was a vague sense of heat. As I kept drinking, taste of texture returned, the sweetness of berries and chamomile coating my taste buds. I could even detect a hint of mint. I lifted my head, filing heads fisting at my sides as I propped myself onto my elbows. The person kept a steady hand on my chin, carefully not to pour it in too much in case I choked. I finished every last drop, wiping my mouth with the back of my hand. I stared at the fingers, realizing I had a full autonomy over my body again. Okay, so I suppose I'm gonna give him the Rousey type of voice, I guess, Good as new. Now, how you feeling? Better, thank you. The stranger laughed. Oh, I like the way you sound. Been ages since I talked to anyone, much less with a voice as nice as yours. I brushed off the stranger's compliment, finally looking around the cabin properly. It was a simple room filled with sparse but decorated wooden furniture, fit for someone living alone. An open arch note to the right led to what I assumed was the kitchen. Next to it, a door was closed shut. Possibly the bathroom? Taking it in, there was a common theme of knitted decorations strewn about. Only available surfaces had patterned knitted tablecloths covering it. Oh, that's so cute! Totally cottagecore. An unfinished project laid beside the bedside table, where I sat a pair of knitting needles, jotting out a pile of yarn from a small basket. As far as I could tell, it looked like the beginnings of a green scarf. The stranger was comfortable in staying silent, observing me as I glanced around. And they tossed their hat into the bed, scruffing the hair and making it even more messier. With their hat off, their unique features were impossible to ignore. Oh, hold on a second. That was a hat? Oh, that's a cute hat. He totally looks like a mushroom. I love it. With their hat off, okay. With their hat off, their unique features was impossible to ignore. Sorry, but what are you? Oh, I didn't introduce myself, did I? Hiya, I'm Mychael with a Y. I shook my head. No. I meant that, Mychael stared at me, their left ear twitching. You look very... He snorted. Ugly. Off-putting. No. Just different. Indifferent how? You're just being nice. Well, then explain yourself. I mean, that's kind of rude, isn't it? I paused for a moment before pinching my nose bridge, exhaling slowly. I'm just... sorry. It's been a long day is all. I should be thanking you. If it helps, it's a skin condition. Is that what your humans call them? The way they said it didn't sound confident. And the ears? Genetics? Question mark? Right. And I assume the little... I waved vaguely at their horns. Antenna? Those things are just cosplay to complete the look. Wouldn't that make a convincing argument? I squinted. Maybe? Then yeah, it's cosplay. Still doesn't explain everything. Mychael huffed a nervous laugh. I'm sorry, what the? Listen, I'm just a guy living by himself in the woods. You don't need to worry yourself further than that, okay? Something in his tone compelled you not to question his existence anymore. He's just some guy living in the woods. Completely normal. Right. Completely normal. I'm Gamery. Mychael beamed. Nice to meet you, Gamery. I fiddled with the blankets as Mychael scooted closer from the edge of the bed. I know, I already asked you, but how are you feeling? Any aches or nausea? Intrusive thoughts? Weird impulses? Fever maybe? I don't. He placed his hand on my forehead before I can react. His hands were calloused, quickly retracting as he gave a thoughtful You seem to be lucid? Lucid? That's a good sign. Great. He hummed absently, his twitching ears reminded me of a petrubid cat. My cat! Oh, shit! Sorry if this was out of nowhere, but have you seen a cat around these parts? His name's Petal. He's a sweet little thing about this big, skittish, but he can approach strangers if he needs to. I pulled out my phone to show pictures of him, only to find it missing from my back pocket. Wait, where is... I haven't. Huh? Your cat. I haven't seen it. Oh, I see. I slumped against the pillow, rubbing at my temples. He lost his collar, too. Even if anyone finds him, they wouldn't be able to tell where he's from. Damn it. Mychael stayed quiet, watching me from his side of the bed. You came all the way out here for a cat? Huh? Of course! To the point you're willing to run yourself ragged this deep in the forest for a cat. Do you realize how far you wandered off from the nearest town? I found you near unconscious in an area nobody set foot in for years. For a cat. He sounded like he was holding himself back from giving me a stern lecture, as if in disbelief I had such little regard to my own survival. My cheeks grew heated at how stupidly reckless that sounds. I mean, he's not just a cat, he's my family. I know I was stupid for even trying. I had to. Mychael eased up, shoulders tense as he looked me over from underneath his unruly bangs. Family, huh? He finally tipped his head at me with a smile. You're willing to wander this far for such a small critter? I met a fair share of lost campers, hunters, and a few runaway teen or two. There's someone looking for their pet. You're kind of weird, aren't you? I spurted much to his amusement. Speak for yourself. Who cosplays in the middle of the woods? Mychael laughed, a deep-hearted one resonating from his chest. Fair. I think I'm starting to like you, Gamery. Likewise. His smile widened, but something about it was off. He was showing too much teeth. It felt like he hadn't talked to someone in a really long time and forgot how to smile the right amount. I rubbed my neck, trying to think of something else to say. Can I ask you, how did I get here? Oh, like I said, I found you in the woods not far away from here. Ah, jeez, really? I knew I was tired, but I couldn't have possibly... I did step in something important. Familiar pinpricks kept up my skin. Home. I need to go home. Mychael stiffened as he grabbed my shoulder. Never mind that. You've fallen unconscious from a heat stroke. Heat stroke? No, that wasn't what happened. I'm like, what is he doing? I was fine until Mychael shook his head instantly, leaning close. No, Firefly. You weren't fine at all. If I haven't found you, and I did, well, who knows what could have happened? You could have gotten injured or attacked by a wild animal. There's danger in these woods, you know. No, he was right. You had been so foolish. How did you think you can do this on your own? Searching for your cat in the middle of the woods. And to go in without bringing any water. Passing out from heat stroke of all things. How could you have been so stupid? I shook my head, brain too foggy to pick apart my thoughts. He sounded confident, so why should you doubt him? Well, if it means anything, I'm glad you were there. Mychael relaxed, hand on his lap once more. He grinned at me. So am I, Gamery. I'm definitely glad I found you. Is he blushing? His eyes were hidden fully behind his unruly hair, but I couldn't help feeling how intensely they were fixated onto me. As he said that, the hairs in the back of my neck stood up. Sure. Without a distraction, I only just realized how uncomfortable I was sitting still. The blanket on me was starting to itch, just as the desperate need to get home began to rise in me again. This was interesting, but I should really get going now. Wait. My host jumped up from the bed before I could. I mean, you can't. I can't just let you wander around the woods this late. Please stay a bit longer. But Mychael, come. He grabbed my hand and led me across the room. We stepped in the kitchen, a fragrant smell of cooked potatoes and meat hanging in the air. 2 plates had been set out on a small circular table complete with utensils and mugs of tea. I wasn't expecting guests today, so the food is nothing fancy. But join me for dinner? You look so hopeful, ears drooping. You feel so bad if you had to say no. Cause there's like a red, like let us say no. I ignored the pleading voice in the back of my head, sealing my resolve. Strange enough, the second I made up my mind, the faint static that fogged my thoughts cleared instantly, only replaced with urgent that need to go back home. Mychael goes quiet, his grip on my hand tightening before he loosens his hold. I see. If that's what you want. But are you really sure? Yes, it's what I meant to do. His ears flattened at my words. He laughs an empty laugh, mouth twisted in a crooked grimace. Surely you wouldn't mind sitting down for a quick meal? Just a bite even. Please. His hand fisted at his sides. Do you really have to go? Yes. Yes. Mychael stared at me as if looking for something. Finally, he sighed in defeat. All right. I guess I can't help you here, not anymore. Let me lead you outside. Mychael ushered me towards the back door, swinging it open as he sidestepped to let me out. The chill breeze crept along my arms. I turned towards him one last time. Thanks again for everything. He was silent for a moment, staring past me into the trees. You're welcome. Please be careful on your way back. I'm sorry, there's not much more I can do for you. He's been nothing but gracious. It's strange for a farewell, but I was too occupied with thoughts of returning home to care. I looked over to the woods, shadows cast from the moonlight causing some hesitation in me. Do you mind giving me some directions as a head start? Mychael looked at me, finally then to the horizon with a tilt of his chin. Keep heading in that direction. You'll come across a trail that leads you straight home. I waved at him as he shut the door, the mechanisms locking shut with a click. I stood there for a moment. Did I choose something bad? Because I am realizing the color textures here. And like the pink one was like, I think a good one. And there's like a purple one. I think I chose bad. I stood there for a moment questioning if I had made the right decision or not. Another urgent though complied me to leave. There is no place for me. I have to go. I was already too late to get home, so I gathered my resolve and walked away. I think I got a bad ending. I walked and walked. Trees blended into one after a while. I should have been afraid or concerned, but it felt right. The darkness that surrounded me was too comforting for me to feel in danger. I steered away from the direction Mychael showed me ages ago. My feet wheeling carefully my body to someplace specific, someplace special. A final destination? Here. The patch of mushrooms I have stepped on earlier. I was meant to be here. I have always meant to be here. I laid down in the cold, wet dirt and closed my eyes. Oh, shit! So my cat really is dead. Damn, that confirms everything. There's not much I can do if the forest had staked its claim on you, Firefly. I wish I found you sooner. Sleep well, Gamery. Peaceful slumber. Alrighty, so I guess I will go for a different one. Alright, so he's placing me in like some kind of hypnotic spell. I can tell, like the choices he wants me to make are the ones that are highlighted in pink. So yeah, I'll stay. Mychael's jaw dropped for a second before he quickly recovered. Yes, of course. Here, come sit. I'll serve up the cottage pie in a minute. I sat as I instructed, my stomach rumbling something fierce as the smell was the only thing I could focus on. Yes, this was definitely the right choice. What was so important that you had to leave so soon? The outside world can wait. You can stay here and enjoy my company. Oh, actually, I should ask, are you okay with meat for dinner? I can make something else for you if it's that not your preference. I'm okay with meat. Oh, okay. You've been having the same dinner as me then. Mychael pattered about the small kitchen with an almost giddy excitement. He put a pair of knitted oven mitts humming as he stooped down and pulled out a steamy tray of pie from the wood stove. The smell, it filled out the kitchen in an instant as he brought it to the table, my stomach rumbling louder in response. I'm pretty sure Mychael could hear it, but he just smiled as he served up our portions. He just strictly cut me a bigger piece, which I was grateful for. It looked so good. Please tell me that wasn't cat meat. No. Definitely wasn't. I'm pretty sure the cat disintegrated in the mushrooms. The crust was a nice golden color, streaked with a crisp line and garnish. The meat and veggie filled looked absolutely delectable. The savory sauce leaking onto the plate. My mouth was watering, surprisingly considering the fact I hadn't eaten all day. Careful now, it's still hot. It was a fair advice, but I didn't wait more than 2 blows before biting into my first forkful. It was definitely way too hot to start from the oven. Mychael kept a polite expression, the corner of his mouth lifting as I painted with the piece still in my mouth. He gave me a few seconds to recover, elbow plated on the table. Is it good? I nodded vigorously, even though my buds were burning. Couldn't taste anything. He laughed. It's unusually better on the second bite. I slowed down, a hand on my mouth as Mychael poked his fork into his own slice. I tentatively blew on a pie to make sure it was cool before taking another bite. He was right. The second bite was a lot better. The seasoned potato crust was nice and crisp on top, cheesy and creamy in the middle. The savory meat filling was well cooked and bursting with flavor. Every bit felt like home. My host watched me enjoy the meal from across the table. Do you like it? Yeah, the taste is amazing, Mychael. He flashed from the compliment, rubbing the back of his neck. Aw, what a sweetheart. I'm glad I like to think of myself as a decent cook, but I've never been able to get anyone else's opinion on that. Do you like baking in particular? Not always. I usually go for simple dishes with ingredients available. I nodded amicably, though didn't say much else. I was more focused on scarfing down dinner, which thankfully Mychael didn't seem to mind. The overall atmosphere was nice and homely, and I could hear Mychael tapping his feet from underneath the table. I guess he was that happy to have someone stay for dinner. It didn't seem like he lived alone, judging from the surroundings in his cabin. So I'm kind of curious. He perked up instantly, his focus slowly on me. What made you want to live all the way out here? Oh, well, I guess when you look like me, it's kind of easier just to live out of sight from everyone else. A pang of guilt shot through my chest. I was giving him a hard time about how he looked too. He must have sensed it clear as day on my face. Not that you're one of them. You're actually been nicer than most. Though I wonder if... His smile turned strained. Never mind. My point is that it's better here than anywhere else. Why don't you try to tea, Firefly? He seemed uncomfortable now. Easing in a different topic? It's probably best to follow along. Oh, sure. I I reached out towards my mug, only to push it off the edge with my clumsy fingers. Oh, wait. I bent over the side to grab it, fully expecting it to fall just out of reach and land on the floor into broken pieces. It never did. Instead, a long green appendage was twisted around the ceramic mug, securely keeping it in place. Not even a drop has fallen out. My eyes trailed along the length of it until I pinpointed that it came from behind Mychael, the rest of it particularly hidden beneath his cardigan. Mychael? Is that yours? Mychael buried his face in his hands, the strange appendage from before lowering to his side, mug in tow. I'm sorry, Gamery. I think it's time I was honest. He lifted his head, fingers carding his hair back to reveal his eyes. I froze as multiple pairs of irises stared right into me before darting to the side and avoiding my gaze. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is who I really am. Please don't be scared. Oh, I'm going to regret this. Okay, maybe this one time I'll freak out, okay? Because I noticed a lot of my little graphic novels, I tend to go for the romance options and the caring options, etc., etc. I really don't want to freak out. He's been nothing but sweet to me, but I kind of want to see where this goes. Let's see. If anything, I saved. Freak out. Monster! I flinched as his eyes thinned into a sharp slit. No. You're a monster! Gamery. I kicked back against the chair. I feel so bad! I don't want to do that! Why the hell would I call him a monster? Oh my god, I regret this already. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to. I kicked back against the chair, letting it clatter to the ground as I scrambled to the living room. He was a freak. How did I ever let him get close to me? I had to escape now. I ran to the door furthest in the room, hoping it was the exits rattling the doorknob desperately. It was locked shut. Gamery, please. I abandoned the front door and ran to the window by my bed, my fingernails scraping against the sill. It was sealed tight, the lock barely budging as I tried to twist it with my fingers. Heavy boots slowly came closer behind me. I spun around to see him by the edge of the doorway, hands up in a careful stance. Gamery, calm down. I'm begging you. Just let me explain. Stay away from me. My eyes landed on the basket on the bedside table, the needles glinting against the firelight. Take them. I grasped both needles and pulled them from the yarn, the basket dropping onto the floor in my haste. Holding them to my chest, I stepped back as Mychael came closer, eyes wild as he realized what I held. Hey, look at me, Gamery. You don't want to do this. You're gonna hurt yourself. Let go of those things. Well, what happened if I listened to him? He was right. If you weren't careful, you can hurt yourself. You hold on the needles, slipped your ears, pricking up the sound of them clattering to the floor. Defenseless, I faced Mychael as he stepped closer. I couldn't stop staring at those eyes. They looked wide with panic. Okay, listen to me. Everything's gonna be alright. Stay away from me, you freak. Why do you hate me that much? Can't we just start over? I shook my head, backing away from him. Just let me leave. I don't want to be anywhere near you. Mychael stopped advancing, hands fisting at his sides. Okay, that's okay. I'll let you go. Just... Oh, fudge! Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay. Okay, dude. I am so sorry. Listen. We cool. Okay? We cool. I can load back and I could be your little pet. Okay? Let me just load back, dude. Let me just load back, all right? I screamed as his arms wrapped around me. All I could do was twist in his hold. I could feel something tightening around my legs, his grip on my chin, forcing me to look at his face. Let go of me! Let me... Static. All I could hear was static. My body went against my will as I slacked against him, limp as a ragdoll, and his eyes bored straight into mine. Mychael's smile was magnetic. That's it, Firefly. I caught you now. You'll be fine. Everything will be fine. Of course, everything's fine. What did you have to worry about anyways? It was just your dear sweet friend Mychael. Trustworthy Mychael. Safe and sound Mychael. He was all that you needed. That's right. Settle in, Firefly. I'll take good care of you. I promise. Oh, he's tearing. I can't have the real you, but I'm willing to play pretend if it means I get to keep you. Oh, your name's Gamery. You live in the woods with your best friend Mychael. You love Mychael, and he loves you. You never had a job. You never had a cat. You never left these woods. You never had a home anywhere else. You already are home. Hey, Firefly. You want to help me with dinner today? Of course you do. Come on. Playing pretend. Oh, I don't like that one. Oh, my heart hurts. My heart really hurts. He doesn't know how to act. Oh my goodness. And he was afraid. And oh my goodness. I don't like it. All right, dude. All right. I'm going for a different approach. I'm not freaking out this time. Nope, I can't. I don't have the heart anymore. So I'm going to remain calm. I swallowed audibly, willing myself to not look away. He seemed to be holding his breath as I gripped the edge of the table. It felt unsettling every time he blinked those eyes in success, even when he wasn't looking at me. Was it real? It had to be. Everything about him suddenly made so much more sense. The isolation, the abandoned behavior. He looked freaky, yes, but he also looked sad. I swallowed thickly. I'm not scared. Mychael's many pupils blew widely, dilating with an excited wildcat. It sent a shiver up my spine. Okay, maybe just a little bit scared. Sorry. Aww. Why does he have to be such a muffin? He hastily grabbed an empty plate and headed behind it, shoulders scrunched up, desperate his stature. Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much. Would it help if I just hit it? I could fix my hair like before, if that's what you prefer. His voice was muffled behind the ceramic barrier between us. It was kind of endearing. I slowly reached out to touch his hand, the slight brush of my fingertips making him jump in place. Mychael. Yeah? Can you put that down? He slowly lowered the plate. His eyes were still darted in the sight, avoiding me. Can you look at me? Why does he have to be such a sweet muffin? Oh my goodness. Don't look at me like that. Sorry, I just can't stop looking. That was so awkward. His hands were shaking. I looked down at the mug still floating next to him, hanging on for dear life. I reached over and plucked it straight out of his grasp. I tentatively took a sip, noticing how Mychael was watching me over the rim of the mug. The taste was mildly spicy and almost earthy bit to it. I recognized it instantly as ginger tea. It's almost room temperature, but it's still pretty good. Huh? You wanted me to try the tea, right? I liked it, so thank you. Oh, I'm glad. Mychael relaxed back into his seat, following my lead as I picked up my fork once more. The silence didn't last long as Mychael fidgeted. Are you really okay with this? With me? I gave him a once-over, really taking his feature. It's very different than what I'm used to, but I think I can learn to like it. Is that weird to say? I mean, you're not bad to look at. It's actually kind of, damn it. What do I say? What the? Pretty cool, hot. Oh, honey, you know me. I'm taking the dirty. Oh, I hate myself so much. I hate myself. I really do hate myself so much that I hate myself so much that I love to make a fool out of myself out of the camera. Oh my goodness, I hope I don't regret this, but if he turns blue as a blueberry, I am going to love it so much. All right. Hold on, let me adjust my seat a little bit more comfortable. Seat adjusted. You're hot. My goodness. I gotta stop snorting, I swear to God. Hot? You're not referring to temperature, are you? No, I'm not. Oh. He looked confused, but seemed embarrassed anyway. My point is, your appearance shouldn't matter. You've been nothing but kind to me so far. I've been the worst kind of person to judge someone based on how they look. I haven't known you that long, but you seem like a good person. You're fine, Mychael. I smiled at him. We're fine. I see. He fidgeted some more before nodding, smiling a bit. Thanks, Gamery. I'll cherish this moment forever. He beamed at me as he enthusiastically went back to eating his food. That was something. We continued with a bit of small talk, mostly stories about Petal or snippets from my personal life. Mychael hung on to every word I said, not bothering to elaborate much about himself despite my burning curiosity. I could tell he was extremely insecure about his appearance, so it's probably best I keep my questions to myself for tonight. We cleared up the kitchen in relatively silence. Mychael stored away the rest of the pie as I washed the dishes by the sink. Being out here is this remote cabin, I wonder how he had running water. Maybe I'll ask him later. So, thanks for dinner. Thanks for the company. Oh, and please take the bed tonight. But, you're my guest, and I'm the host. Take the bed, okay? All right, I'll be out of your hair first thing in the morning. Mychael got quiet, staring at the floorboards. With his hair out of the way, I could finally read his expression. He did seem upset. Is that okay? I do need your help, though. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna get lost again on my own. His tail flicked behind him. Yeah, I'll bring you home tomorrow morning. I heaved a sigh of relief. Thanks, Mychael. I'll see you in the morning. Yeah. Good night, Gamery. Good night, Mychael. He seemed really happy being able to say that. I plopped myself onto Mychael's bed, getting comfortably beneath the blanket. Mychael was gathering some blankets of his own to make a makeshift bed on the floor in front of the fire. He had an impressive collection of knitted items, a comfortable nest forming in the center of the room. My eyes trailed after his tail, now out in the open as it flickered and swayed, kind of like a cat. I miss Petal. Now with a full stomach, dozing off came easy. I didn't even realize how tired I was. I listened to the gentle crackling of the fire, my vision darkening. No, shh! Okay, so I was correct. All right, dude. Please don't make that a habit. Good night, Gamery. All right. Sweet, 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 sweet. Okay, so I'm guessing this one is day 2 now, but that's fine. A soft humming invaded my dreams, stirring me awake. I blinked my eyes open to unfamiliar surroundings, swallowed in a blanket that clearly wasn't mine. Where? Oh. I spotted the familiar figure of my host seated on a stool in front of the fire, hands definitely working on the green scarf bundled in his lap. His back was towards me, but I caught a glimpse of his fingers as the needle softly clicked between the yarn. He looked incredibly adamant at using them, the rhythmic movements almost hypnotic as the fibers wound together in an intricate pattern. I slowly stirred into a sitting position, rubbing at my eyes. The movement quickly caught his attention, ear flickering in my direction before his eyes trained onto me. It's really cool, his whole phase and everything, to be honest. Just like last night, his pupils blew up as we made eye contact. His expression lit up the instant he saw me. Gamery, hey! I'm glad you're finally awake. You look so tired. I didn't want to disturb you until you've gotten enough rest. Huh? Good morning, Mychael. Good morning, Gamery. Did you sleep well? I was still too groggy to answer his question. A yawn slipping out as I stretched. He smelled kind of a soft chuckle under his breath. Like a baby then? He pointed over his shoulder to the door beside the fireplace, tilting his head towards it. You can freshen up in the bathroom if you like, while I start on making up some food. I hadn't eaten breakfast by now, but I want you to join me while the food is still hot. How do eggs and toast sound? Sounds delicious. Great. I'll see you in the kitchen then. He tucked away his knitting materials and set it aside. Oh, I also have a surprise for you after breakfast. It's not the most exciting surprise, but just join me when you're ready. He ducked into the kitchen without another glance. I could hear his boots thud after the floorboards, cabinets opening and closing in succession in the kitchen. I suppose that's my cue. I rolled out of the bed, leaving the warmth of the Mychael's bracelet and trotting over the door Mychael pointed at. Stepping inside, I didn't know what I was expecting when he said he had a bathroom, but it was surprisingly spacious. Everything looked like it was carved and polished out of stone wood. He made to have everything you find in a modern bathroom. A sink with a cabin, a shower, and a tub, and even a toilet. Curious, I crept over to the toilet in particular, inspecting it. There wasn't a tank like you expect where the water would be stored. Instead, there was a compartment to the side full of sawdust and a scoop. I expected it to have at least a bit of a smell, but it was surprisingly odorless. There were even a roll of toilet paper on the side. It was no flushing system, but it was hygienic. Mychael must have done his research. Walking over to the sink, I stared at the faucet before hastily twisting it. I jumped when I heard the rush of water pouring in, swirling in the basin before disappearing to who knows where. Wow. Why am I even impressed by the damn functioning bathroom sink? I helped with the dishes last night. I already know Mychael had plumbing. Shaking my head, I finished freshening up and headed to the kitchen. Mychael looked up as I entered, a steaming kettle in his hand with 2 empty mugs on the counter. It must have been the light, but he was taller than I remembered. Glancing to the table, I could see he already finished plating up our food. Oh, wow. You work fast. Mychael looked proud of himself. Can't have my guests staying on an empty stomach. Go on, have a seat. I'll join you in a moment. I returned to smile and sat down, something grumbling as I looked in our plates. Once again, Mychael was generous with his serving sizes. Fat slices of bread were toasted perfectly with crisp buttery sides, bright red tomato slices, and a crisp salad peeking underneath the fluffy eggs. It looked amazingly tantalizing, the smell of savoring herbs wafting into my nose. The mouth watered. Mychael sat down, a steaming mug beside me before settling into his own seat. Peeking above the rim, I could see small flowers floating about, tinting the water yellow. It faintly smelled like apples. I recognized the yellow dried petals on tea packaging I've seen before. Oh, chamomile. He nodded. I hope you like it. I'm sure I will. His smile widened, his tail swaying at the tip by his feet. He seemed more relaxed, showing his natural features this morning. Any traces of panic and hesitation from last night were gone, replaced by a look of contentment. Mychael bit into his toast and I followed suit. And the food was as delicious as I expected. The chunk of toast I bit into was heavenly, the butter sweet on my tongue. The tomato and salad provided a nice crispy balance. And the eggs. Something about simply homemade cooked food is just the best. Mychael was happy to sit in silence, occasionally looking up at me as I enjoyed my food. He smiled when our eyes met, his bottom pair narrowing into a happy squint. I wonder if he'd be open to some questions. Hey. Do you mind if I ask? Oh, now we're going to the questionings. So, how do you learn to cook? Cottage pie is a pretty complicated recipe. I just wondered if anyone taught you how to cook. I'd be lucky if someone could teach me how to make boiled eggs, Firefly. But it was a trial and error mostly. My earlier endeavors were, pretty much inedible. I picked up a thing or two about cooking though. Some your taste buds aren't going to fall victim to any nasty creations like in my early days at least. Speaking of, did you enjoy your dinner last night? Of course I did. You're a really good cook, Mychael. I'm glad. I probably wasn't obvious, but I'm really happy I got to cook for you. I don't get guests often, in case you couldn't tell. I should ask you to cook for me every day then. He grinned at my joke, looking pleased. I'd be happy to. I chuckled as I took another bite. So, what's your favorite thing to cook? He lit up at the question. Fried mushrooms. Fried mushrooms? Yeah. There's plenty to find, and it's easy to make. I do remember finding a patch of mushrooms yesterday. They smelled pretty funky, though. You remember that? What was that? Nothing. Anyways, mushrooms were the only thing I had for a while, before figuring out I could eat other stuff like roots and veggies. Do you forage all your ingredients? Mostly. The times I figured out how to catch fish and hunt game were the best in my life. I could tell you that. My first taste of meat, He did an awkward version of a chef's kiss, as if mimicking something he saw on a television once. Morarmi Maya. Oh no, dude. Were you trying to say a Mamma Mia or something? Maramir Maya? Oh my god. Why is he so cute? Was he trying to say Mamma Mia? He continued before I could even dwell on it for a second longer. But nothing beats what you humans are able to make. You guys go nuts with ingredients. Rice was a challenge. It's a precious ingredient since I have to actually get some from the store. But once I figured out how to make it nice and fluffy, I considered it a special treat. I did a double take. You go to the store? Yeah. Where else would I get it? I thought you would grow it yourself or something. He laughed as I flushed in embarrassment. It's flattering you'd think I'm even capable of something that impressive, but no. There's only so much the forest can provide. But what about money? We're talking about human currency, right? Otherwise, how would you even... Do you actually have a job? A thought occurred to me. Or did you steal it? He almost looked offended. Do you take me for a criminal? No. But that would mean that how? Mychael bit into his toast, his two eyes winking in mischief. I have my ways, Firefly. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, I can ask him more questions. Okay, dude. I gotta ask, how do you have plumbing in your house? I know it's a silly question, but I can't stop thinking about it. Oh, you were wondering about that. The embarrassed look on my face was probably enough for an answer. Aw. Well, it's nothing fascinating. It's just rainwater I got stored above the cabin. Just rainwater? He nodded. I detected a hint of pride as he continued. It's actually a recent installment, believe it or not. Granted, the project took a while, gathering materials, figuring out the tools, finding the right instruction manuals. Plus, I had to figure out where to store the water tank. And don't worry, I installed a filtration system, so it's safe for us to use. I check it every few weeks to make sure nothing's contaminated. That sounded daunting, especially considering he lived all the way out here in the woods. You did all that on your own? I kinda had to. Anyway, it took a while, a lot of calibrating and adjusting, but it really worked out. And now that I think about it, I'm glad you get to be comfortable here during your stay too. Does that answer your question? Where'd you learn how to do all that? Yeah, I had to figure out a lot of things on my own. There was a faint hint of exhaustion in his eyes. But to answer your question, I go to libraries a lot. It's where I learned about a majority of things. The fact that he even ventured into the buildings at all already surprised me. And if I'm really lucky, they have all those neat DIYs and workshop manuals archived for anyone to browse through. It took a while to figure everything out. A really long time, actually. But hey, I had nothing but time. And it paid off. I'm considering upgrading the toilet next, but for now, the composition setup works fine. Learned about that in an old camping guide. He paused to take a breath, as if he hadn't talked this much for a while. I'm rambling, but that's how I did it. Is there anything else you want to ask? Wait, you been to libraries? His eyes perked up, posture straight. Oh yeah, I can tell you enough how many books have helped me. So I made it this far only because I quickly figured out how to read. Well, figured out that I can read. Do you visit often? In my earlier days, any chances I can get. Nowadays, I stick to the side of the forest, though. Gotta make sure people don't wander too far than they're meant to. I paused in my chewing at the teasing lit in his voice. Hey! I'm joking. Anyways, if you're wondering what I do about this, he gestured toward his face. I just have to make sure everything's covered. You'll be surprised at how little people pay attention to me when I'm bundled up just right. Do people not give you any trouble? He shrugged nonchalant. Small town librarians are usually so empty from my experience. And people just mind their own business there. I guess that's true. I can't remember the last time I visited a library. I guess libraries would be Mychael's equivalent to the World Wide Web. I should introduce him to the internet sometime. Actually, maybe not. Not without parental controls. Finally satisfied, I nodded and went back to eating my food. What's it like living in the woods? I still can't believe how cozy you managed to make it considering the whole middle of nowhere thing. It wasn't like this when I found it. No? It was a major, fixer-upper? So the cabin was abandoned? I never would have guessed. Yeah, I'm pretty happy I get to live somewhere permanently for once. It's not much, but it's home. What's it like? Peaceful, quiet. I do like it a lot. The forest provides me with everything I need. And nobody bothers me from the way I look out here. His eyes twitched silently. Sometimes you just happen to end up where it's most convenient for you and everywhere else. The way he avoided my eyes as he said that gave me the impression there's something more to it. Like his home was just out of convenience, but a fear of something else. Rejection, perhaps? Or something worse. Anyways, I don't really have anything else to say about it. Unless there's something specific you want to ask. He doesn't think about his answer much more before beaming at me. What about you? I know you told me a little bit about yourself, but what's it like being you? I scuffled, waving a hand. Please, I'm the least interesting person in this room, trust me. His eyes were shining in the earnest as he leaned forward. That took me a little bit of surprise. Tell me anyway. Oh, well. I told him about my life, at least the parts I was comfortable with staring. Just like last night, his eyes didn't leave my face, occasionally darting about my features and interesting. The direct ogling was making me nervous, but I suppose I was doing the exact same thing when it was his turn to talk. Eventually, I came to the topic of my job and the woes of living in modern capitalism. I am a bit jealous you have the whole cottagecore aesthetic practically perfect. That's exactly what I said. He has the whole cottagecore. Jeez, I'm even jelly too. Wonder how that feels. His face morphed in a confused pout. Cottagecore? I explained it to him in my own words. Oh, you're saying you want to live the way I do, out in the woods? I nodded without hesitation. I mean, I wouldn't mind showing you the ropes. His tone seemed strangely elicited. What do you mean? Never mind. Anyways, I don't get what the appeal is, but it's not easy either, you know? The forest provides, but it's up to me to make use of it. Starting out was... A dark look crossed around over his face, as if revealing a bitter memory. Rough. But I'm built for survival. I felt like asking him to elaborate will make things awkward. I decided to veer the topic in a different direction. Doesn't it get lonely? Huh? Sometimes, but I'm used to it. He smiled, his eyes lighting up. Besides, I have you at the moment, don't I? I never thought I'd enjoy having someone around. You must be really special. I'm starting to know a lot more about Mychael. He didn't directly say it, but it felt like he was lonelier than he was letting on. Not to mention how he managed to make a home for himself all on his own. I had to wonder if he had anyone at all. Do you have any family around? Family? His expression turned solemn for a moment before he looked sheepish. Remind me how that works again? I get the concept based on some books I've read. I don't have what you call parents, if that's what you're asking. My mouth dropped open in shock. No parents? He shrugged and took another bite of toast. Not that I recall. Wait, what? Then how did you... Oh, what's that? Living with so many people like you in such close proximity. Huh? That's how it works, right? You and other humans living in a house. And you have this donut thing that makes you related to the rest. That's what makes family, right? Was he talking about DNA? His definition threw me off, but I had to answer somehow. Not just that. Family is... It's people that you love and care about. You love and care about you too. He seemed intrigued. Is that so? That does sound nice. Is there anyone that you love and care about? Of course. I do have a family. Heck, I even call my cat family. Ah, right. Obviously. And this is the same for all families. I bit my lip, pondering the question. It would be naive to think that. A lot of families do love and take care of one another, but not everything's perfect. Sometimes that love can be misplaced, or taken advantage of, or even abused. Mychael looked thoughtfully. So it starts off with love? I read some stories about that. Love, I mean. Though certain feelings just don't make sense to me. At least from a reader's perspective. I guess you have to experience it for yourself to understand. He stared at me, unblinking for a moment. Yeah, you might be right. I never considered that. Then again, I would have bothered loving a monster like me. You're not a monster. I look like one, don't I? That's besides the point. You're not denying it, though. I'm just saying, it's okay. You don't have to lie to me. So, family. Right. To be fair, everyone's definition of family could be different. And what about you? What's your definition of family? Mychael looked surprised. I asked him that question. Yeah, I don't know. I never had one. And I think your answer just confused me more. Well, if you ever figure it out, let me know. Mychael stared at the remaining crumbs of his plate before he nodded, avoiding my gaze. Sure. We both felt quiet, the lull in conversation blanketed us in a comforting silence. All this family talk, it reminded me of the reason why I'm out here in the first place. To look for my beloved cat. A sight I might never be able to see again. I couldn't help the sinking feeling in my chest, the growing pit in my stomach. I wish I was able to find Petal. You would have loved him. Mychael opened his mouth to say something, but changed his mind. My voice rumbled as a lump formed in my throat. Sorry. I just miss him so much. I keep thinking if I was just looking for him sooner, maybe I would have been able to find him now. He was quick to speak up. You did your best, Firefly. No one else could have gone to the lengths that you did. You almost risked getting yourself. I'm sure, wherever he is, he's doing okay. You really think so? I know so. His voice was laced with a confident assurance despite the worried look in his face. I nodded with a quiet sniffle. I hope so. He's just so important to me is all. Mychael looked like he wanted to reach across the table for me, but sighed instead. Actually, I'm sorry, Gamery. I should really tell you. Maybe I do have a family now that I think about it. That was surprising I mentioned before. Wait, really? He nodded. Are you done? I could take you to meet them right now. I looked down at my plate. During the conversation, I didn't even realize I finished a meal. Yeah, I'm done. His movements were quick, stacking our empty plates and mugs and setting them in the sink. He grasped my hand before I could say another word, pulling me up and heading outside with me in a tow. As the door swung open, I could only see forest ahead before he tugged me along as he rounded the side of the cabin. Almost immediately, my perceptions were assaulted with green on both sides. I figured he was the type to grow his own veggies, but to see it in a person as a confirmation was a whole different thing. With Mychael leading the way, I only had a moment to take in the surrounding garden. He had marked the different plots with messy drawings and small wooden signs, jotting them in the dirt. Carrots, lettuce, potatoes, drizzles of tomatoes and beans. I wouldn't have been able to differentiate one plant to another without the signs. Even the chamomile from our tea just now grew ambient close by, the small buds swaying gently. I bumped into Mychael as he suddenly stopped, the man looking over his shoulder to beam at me. We reached what looked like a fenced-off area with a bit of netting stretched all around. He stepped aside, watching me as my eyes widened. Chickens! Oh, they're so cute! Oh, the chickens look so cute! 3 fat, happy little hands strutted about like they owned the place. As he entered through the gate, the hens swarmed over in an instant at Mychael's feet, circling him and pecking at his boot. Aww! Ladies, meet Gamery. Gamery, these are Marwar, Sansua, and Primrose. Or, as I like to call them, Marmar, Sunny, and Rosie. He ducked to pick one up, fluffing out his feathers as he smiled. He gently scratched the hen's little head, which I assumed was Rosie. Aw, Rosie looks like she has a little crush on him. Yeah, Rosie definitely has a little crush on him. Isn't that adorable? She practically melted at his pampering eye slit. Yep. Just a little crush. The other 2 flapped their wings in a huff and went about their business once more. Mychael leaned closer, beckoning me to pet Rosie. She was so soft. Rosie's the oldest. She doesn't lay eggs anymore, but I couldn't bring myself to, you know. So I brought her some friends. Marmar came first. Sunny's a more recent addition. What do you think? Do we make a good family? I laughed and nodded, watching as Rosie nuzzled into Mychael's chest. I didn't expect chickens of all things. Were you expecting something else? I was expecting it to be someone else. Oh. No. When you look at like me, people generally don't stick around. There's that negative self-talk again. You don't even look that bad. His eyes flicked to mine, a look of pleasant surprise crossing his face. You really think so? Yeah? You can't be that naive, Firefly. I mean it! I let out a polite scoff as he scratched Rosie's head absently. You generally believe people will run away at me at sight. Well, I didn't. His smile turned smug, the corner of his lips lifting just a bit. Of course he didn't. Because he couldn't. Shoot. He wasn't wrong. I was pretty much paralyzed in his bed when we first met. But I still don't think you look that bad. Is that so? Describe me then. You heard me. Look at me and describe what you see. For a second, I thought he was being considerate, but looking at his eyes, all I can see was a bit of playfulness. He looked at me, acceptably eyes shining. You're tall? Go on. You have blonde hair? He gave an amused squint, his left ear twitching. What else? You have green skin and a tail. He chuckled, though. There was no malice in it. But that's not all, is it? He definitely expected me to say it straight. Oh, fine. So you don't look like a human. So what? He hummed absently. As I was saying, animals generally don't care if you look like monsters. My heart twisted at his words. His passive nonchalance somehow makes it even worse. Mychael, you're... A tug at my shoelace caught my attention. Oh my goodness! Look at that! So freaking cute! A light brown hen stood at my feet, her beady eyes shiny. Sunny flapped her wings almost expectantly. Aw, I think she likes you. Go ahead, pick her up gently, like how I did with Rosie. I hesitated, but slowly lowered myself to cup Sunny by her wings. Lifting her up, she was quick to nestle herself until she was comfortably tucked under my arms. I can feel her wings wiggling as she nuzzled into my side. So cute. Michael's gaze softened as I cooed at the chicken, mimicking her small clucks. So, did it help? Cheering you up, I mean. Oh. So that's what this was. A fuzzy feeling bloomed into my chest as he looked at me. Chicken in his arms and concern in his face. A little bit, yeah. Only a little? I snickered, rolling in my eyes. Okay, mister, a lot. That's more like it. His proud grin was infectious. I couldn't help but smile back. We spent a bit more time with the hens, petting them until they were satisfied. Michael even showed me the spot where they like to have their dusty baths. Little chicken-shaped holes scattered around in the dirt and the dry soil underneath the coop. Once the gals had enough of us, we refilled the water's containers before leaving. He left them some treats, pre-coring them straight out of his pockets before shutting the gate. The girls' excitedly chatter over the food faded as we made our way back inside the cabin. I sat by his bed as he crouched down by the fireplace. From the window, I could see the sun outside was getting higher. It might be close to the afternoon now. Hey, Mychael. Huh? He looked up at me from where he was stroking the fire. I rubbed my arms, unsure where to place my gaze. I think it's a good time for me to go now. I didn't... My expression fell, but I caught myself quickly. He's done his best to cheer me up. It'll be inconsiderate towards him to leave in a bad mood. I might have to accept that I'll never see Petal again. I think it's better if I focus on moving on. He was quiet for a moment, hands in his pocket. If you say so. But you don't have to leave just yet. We still got plenty of daylight left, and there's some places I want to show you. Won't you come with me? I had to decide. Oh my god! How is this sweet buttercup scaring the bejesus out of me? What the hell? No, I gotta go back. Let me see. What are the options? Yeah, I have some spare time. No, I don't. Oh, okay. So you basically had I had the option of, yeah, I had some spare time, or no, I have to go now. And you basically forced me to literally say yes. Okay, dude. I'm a little terrified, but yet you're a cutie patootie. So I'm just go right here now. Like you scared me, okay? You scared me, but you know what? We're just going with the nice act. I can't be mean to you. You're just a sweetie. You don't know any better. I promise I'll take you home right after. He took another step towards me. Please, Firefly? I didn't want to say it, but he looked desperate. Okay. I'll go with you. And the joy in his face was shining bright as a billboard. Great. Let me get our stuff. He disappeared into the kitchen, returning with my backpack in one hand and a satchel in the other. He passed it to me as he walked by towards the front door. I almost forgot I had this. Ruffling through my bag, I found cat treats, Petal's collar, a broken compass, and my phone. The battery was dead though. Still, that's one less thing to worry about. I checked through the bag once more, finding an empty water bottle. I frowned distantly, remembering I forgot to pack water for my trip. Or at least Mychael told me I did. Didn't I? You ready? I looked up at... I'm sorry, what? Dude has a crossbow. Why dude has a crossbow? What the hell is in the forest? Oh my goodness. What on earth is that for? Listen, if the mushrooms did not claim petals, I don't know what the hell would have claimed petals, but that cat dead. I'm sorry, they dead. I looked up at Mychael, staring when I spotted the large crossbow in his hand. He followed my gaze and shrugged at me with a nervous smile, like he's been caught doing something he shouldn't be. He quickly strapped the weapon to his back and out of sight. Don't worry, I'm not going to use it unless necessary. I would hope not. He chuckled at my ingenuine tone. You think I'm going to let you out of the woods without guaranteeing your safety? I made a promise to get you home. So this is just an extra precaution. You don't think it's a bit much? Better safe than sorry, Firefly. He did have a point. If anyone knew these woods and the kind of danger it held, it would be Mychael. I glanced over at him again, noticing he changed his oversized cardigan for something more outdoor appropriate. His eyes tracked mine, his shoulders stiffening as a tint spread across his face. So, shall we? He opened the door and waved me out. I stepped outside to glance around his front yard. The landscapes wasn't anything special. It was actually left quite plain, just thick with trees and foliage. Only paths of dirt and flattened grass clued me in the routes. Mychael would use as he comes and goes, webbing in all directions, trailing to the front door. Come to think of it, anyone passing through would be able to spot Mychael's home if they squinted through the trees carefully enough. I guess he was right that nobody walked through this area in years. I heard a lock turn before Mychael joined me by my side. He smiled wide before tipping his head in a direction, making sure I was behind him before he started walking. I was hesitant but followed suit. It was quite quiet as we traveled, save for sounds of nature's calling out around us. The weather was bright and warm, the sun casting pretty rays through the gaps of the trees. I had to admit, enjoyably at it was, the bird calls and rustling of leaves as we walked somewhat bright brought bad memories. Yesterday was miserable. I was lost, tired, hungry. There was a chance I wasn't going to make it out alive. I watched to Michael's back as he led the way, the man barely paying any mind to his surroundings. His ear would occasionally flick back in my direction, but overall, he seemed confident on where to go. Having Michael as my guide home was definitely a great assurance. Made me even more grateful he found me when he did. I sighed and shook off the negative feelings, keeping pace while appreciating the fresh air. I stepped up next to my companion, willing my voice to speak after part silence. This is actually kind of nice. Huh? A good old nature walk? I coughed into my fist, feeling embarrassed. I don't go outside as often as I should. Michael smiled kindly. I'm glad I get to bring you then. Yeah, it feels different when, where you're going. Actually, where are we going? He sensed my nervous and laughed. Don't worry, we're almost there. I looked up and saw it before he even pointed it out. A clearing in the distance. The trees grew strangely sprouts in that area. I held my breath as I noticed the grass slowly started to dot with flowers, delicate blooms swaying here and there in the breeze. As we get closer, Michael watched me as my mouth dropped open, a knowing twinkle in his eye. It was breathtaking. A secluded little meadow of flowers lit up by the beams of light, making the scenery resemble a page from a forgotten fairy tale. Butterflies flitted about in praise, their wings flickering and complementing the surreal yet enchanting ambience of the whole place. Michael let me gawk some more before walking ahead, turning to face me before sitting down to relax in the grass. He slipped off his satchel and laid it on the grass by his side along with his crossbow. I blinked out of my stupor and approached him, spinning around to drink everything in before plopping myself down next to him. So, what do you think? Pretty, isn't it? I nodded, dumbfounded, before finally glancing to him. The man's gaze on me softened as our eyes met. A butterfly approached us rapidly, making me flinch in an instinct. It landed on his fingers. As he held it out, its wings flapping gently. He smiled at the dainty creature, a fond look in his eyes before he held it out towards me. Do you like butterflies, Gamery? I love butterflies. I do. I think they're so pretty. This is amazing, Michael. His unusually prideful smirk was absent, replaced instead with a shy smile. Aw. I'm glad you like it. The sun was at its peak now, the air getting warmer as minutes passed. The leafy canopy over us provided enough cover for us to not overheat. Michael picked a flower with his other hand and placed it in my palm, his tail looping loosely around us both as my cheeks darkened. Aww. He closed his eyes and leaned back further, the butterfly still resting on his hand. Is he purring? Oh my god, is he purring? That is too cute. My eyes caught a soft rumbling before I realized it was coming from his direction. I almost wanted to ask, but I didn't want it to ruin the moment. My gaze dropped as I twirled the flower in my hand, holding the stem delicately. The gesture felt platonic, but also romantic. I wonder if Mychael was even interested in relationships. He'd been alone most of his life. He'd probably get tired of my presence sooner or later. And before I could compliment further, the butterfly on Mychael's finger took off, my gaze trailing after it as it left the sunlight, flew away into the woods. Which reminds me. Mychael! Huh? Don't get me wrong. This place is stunning. But is it okay if we go now? He straightened from the relaxed slouch. Why? We just got here. I chewed on my lips hastily. I love it here. I do. But I want to go home, Mychael. Mychael studied my face. Gamery, do you want to leave me that badly? What? No. I need time to recover from losing Petal. I know it's silly and dramatic, but knowing he won't be there when I get home. I trailed off another shot of guilt and regret filling my chest. I just need to get it done with. I feel a hand rubbing my back. Mychael nodded slowly, looking me in the eyes. His smile was gentle. That's okay. I understand. But maybe this place can help with that. Oh no, here he goes again. It's a nice spot to nap in, isn't it? I picked it out just for you. Why don't you go ahead and lie down? His words made you sway, a sudden bolt of sleepiness weighing heavy over your eyelids. He was right. It was a nice spot to nap in. Why were you in such a hurry? You yawned, laying back to stretch in the grass. The warmth from the ground seeped through your clothes, lulling you into a sense of comfort and safety. There you go. Just spend some time with me. Just a little bit more. Please. Oh. Here's something else I can show you. He reached into his satchel and pulled out a wooden box. It's called a kalimba. I blinked slowly, clarity come back as I shook my head to pay attention. The box fit neatly in his hand, Mychael holding it as if he were typing on the phone. I could see it had a hole in the middle with a thin strip of metal arranged in a triangular shape around over it. What does it do? A proud smirk spread across his face. I'll show you. He began to pluck. Aww. Oh, I can't help it. I'm melting. He began to pluck at the metallic prongs, a gentle ringing sound resonating with every flick of his thumb. I couldn't recognize the song. He might have made it up himself. I closed my eyes, enjoying the tune. Mychael gave a soft chuckle as he kept playing. Relax and listen as long as you like Firefly. Sounds so pretty. A few minutes passed by with Mychael plucking away at the instrument, the two of us sunbathing like two cats on a Sunday afternoon. I must have dozed as the next thing I knew, I felt a nudge on my shoulder. Comfy. He chuckled low when I refused to open my eyes. I mean, if you'd rather stay. My eyes shot open, my whole body jerking to sit up. Mychael glanced at me, kalimba at his lap, and have a forgot-me-not chain in his hand? What? I shook my head, slapping at my cheeks. I can't believe I fell asleep. I. It's all right. He cut me off. His sigh was heavy. I was hoping. Never mind. He patted my shoulder. I thought his smile didn't reach his eye. Thanks for being here with me. Maybe we can do this again sometime. If I ever get to see you again. Let's get you home. He rolled over to his feet and stood up, brushing off dirt and fixing his satchel. Come on. We gathered our things and set off into the unknown once more. Well, unknown to me at least. Mychael seemed to have a map of this place ingrained in his brain. You seemed sleepy still. So let's freshen up, okay? We walked a bit further away from the clearing, coming across the river. Compared to the rest of the path we walked, the area was shaded considerably with a thick canopy of leaves over us. The flowing water looked inviting as I kneeled down by the bank, Mychael idly closing by. I dipped my hands in, eager to wash my face. The water was refreshing and cooled my heated skin in the afternoon sun. I pulled my hands back to see Mychael peeking over my shoulder into my reflection, smiling with a faraway look in his face. He startled as our gazes meet, irises darting away to look at himself instead. Immediately, his expression changed. His ears flattened, a grimness twisting his feature as his lips curled back. I'd never seen such contempt in his eyes, as I did then, staring at his own visage. He stepped away, retreating underneath the cover of a tree to lean against it with crossed arms. He doesn't notice me watching. I patted my hands, dry on my shirt, and I approached him. You ready? Yeah. I stopped him before he could turn to leave. He looked at me with a questioning look, tipping his head. I hesitated. I wasn't the type to speak my mind directly. Most of the time, I keep things to myself and let things go by. But nobody should look at themselves and have that sort of reaction. Hey, you know you're not, I might as well be frank. You're not a monster, Mychael. He looked taken aback. What makes you say that? I saw how you were looking at yourself. How you talk about yourself. None of it's true. I keep telling you, you're more than just your appearance. I don't know what compelled me to do it, but I did it anyway. I reached for his hand and held them between us. His eyes widened at the contact. All it took was a day with you, and truthfully, I think you're the most amazing person I ever met. He made a choked noise. I'm just an old nobody compared to you. That's not... Shut up and listen. He promptly shut his mouth with an audible click of his teeth. From where I stand, you saved my life. You're taking care of me better than I could ever ask for from a stranger. That already proves to me that you're not the monster you think you are. You're charming, you're smart, you're sweet. You're a million more wonderful things, but you are not a monster. I took a second to compose myself, lowering my voice. You may look different, Mychael. But guess what? His multiple eyes stared into mine, ears flattening as if fearing the worst. That makes you all the more beautiful to me. His breath hitched. I could feel his hand squeezing mine, fingers trembling. It was like he forgot how to breathe. Uh-oh. I realized my hands were getting sweaty. I pulled away hastily, scratching at my neck to avoid his gaze. I could feel the blood rushing to my face. I could dunk my whole head in the river and it'll probably let off steam. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. I just didn't feel right if I didn't say anything. I hope you understand. An awkward silence passed between the two of us. Anyways, I caught him mumbling under his breath. I can't let you leave. What? I said, you can't leave. I mean, not without your cat, right? I frowned. I already tried, Mychael. Like you said, it was stupid for me to just wander off into the woods as if I find him through dumb luck. He paused, his fist clenching. But I haven't. Huh? I haven't tried. I know these woods better than anyone. I can try looking for him. But that means you can't leave yet. Mychael, I appreciate the offer, but I don't think I should stick around any longer. I have a job and responsibility and... You hissed in pain, a sudden migraine overcoming your senses. You felt sick, your stomach wriggling itself in knots. It felt like the world was wrapping around you as your legs wobbled. Your body buckled over as you resisted the urge to vomit. Mychael caught you as you slumped gracelessly to the ground, your head resting on his shoulder as he cradled you close. Hey, you don't look good. Your vision doubled as he spoke, his speech oozing together words into an imperceptible mess. Are you okay? You need me to carry you home? Hello, I don't have much of an option, do I? Yes, please. Okay, no problem. Just hang in there. Hang on to me. Oh my God, what did I get myself into this time? What did I get myself into? Gamery, what the hell did you get yourself into, girl? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve this. If I could just one more day with you, I'll be the happiest man alive. Here we are. Let's get you tucked in. I should give you some clothes, especially since you'll be staying another night. You're okay with that, aren't you? I blinked groggily, awake to the gentle sounds of a crackling fire, the itchy texture of worn bedsheets, the weight of a heavy knit blanket. I could recall once or twice having felt these very sensations to the point I'll consider them familiar and comforting. And yet, oh my God, nothing could prepare me for the bright yellow eyes peering into my... Mychael, do not do that, okay, boy? The fudge? Oh my God, did I push him? Oh, my sweet boy. Oh no. Oh no, my sweet boy. Oh my God. What the hell is wrong with me? Well, actually, what the hell is wrong with you? You. Did I just push him? Oh my God, my sweet boy. Did I push him? No. Please tell me I did not push him. Oh my goodness. Did I push him? Did I legit push him? Hold on. He's just checking up on me. He's just literally checking up on me like the sweet boy he is. And I just pushed him. I just pushed him. Oh, my sweet boy. Oh, no. My sweet mushroom boy. Oh, no. What? What the hell is wrong with me, girl? Girl, not me, but the one, my character, my little main character that I'm playing with right now. Girl, if you keep pushing him, you're gonna be sad and alone for the rest of your life, girl. Don't be pushing that. That's a sweet boy, even though he doesn't know what to do and how to recuperate his feelings and everything. But it's just like, just don't do it, girl. My knuckles hit him square in the face as Michael yelped, no scrunching, as a taller man stumbled backwards into a stool. Great. Oh, please be okay. No blood, right? He landed on his rear with a grace of clumsiness toddler on the floor. The grace of a clumsy toddler. Oh, my sweet, sweet boy. I sat up in a panic and immediately grimaced on landing back on bed with unceremoniously flop. It hit me in one fell swoop how my whole body was aching. It's my sweet, sweet boy, okay? Every single one of my limbs felt like they'd gone through a wriggler and came out the other side, all crinkled and wrong. I groaned aloud, leaning my head back on the pillow. Michael shifted back onto his feet, rubbing his nose. Are you okay? I am so sorry. Gamery. His voice was an awkward croak before he cleared his throat. I'm glad you're awake. How are you feeling? Terrible. He visibly flinched. I'm sorry to hear that. He stepped closer to the bed, leaning over railing in case my hand dramatically whips out again in self-defense. With my hand settled on my lap, he deemed it safe enough to sit beside me. What happened, Michael? You don't remember? I shook my head, wincing in a bit as my head pounded. Not at all. Michael hesitated. You, tripped and hit your head. I had to carry you home. His words almost slurred together as he fidgeted. My head. I slowly lifted my hand to feel for bumps or bruises, but he hastily snatched my wrist. Don't worry about that. Here, have this. It'll help. Michael gave me a familiar-looking drink as he quickly pressed a cup onto my hands. Sitting up with the same effort to take a sip, I couldn't help the small sense of déjà vu. The amount of times I woke up in his bed dazed and disorientated, it's almost uncomfortable now. At least the drink was helping, just like he promised. My body felt lighter as I finished. Michael took the cup from me and set it aside before wriggling his hands together with a nervousness I haven't seen in a while. So, I'm sorry this happened. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. I sighed and waved aside his worry with an embarrassed grumble. Wouldn't be the first time I tripped, if you can believe that. And it's not your fault. He gave a soft chuckle, but it sounded guilty. I suppose you're right. It's just... His face would look like he had a million thoughts running through his head. I promised, didn't I? I said I was going to look out for you. I said I was going to keep you safe. Instead, I made you hurt. A voice cracked. I'm sorry, Gamery. The sudden change in demeanor was startling to say the least. You couldn't have predicted it was going to happen. And I'm fine, see? Oh, Firefly. I guess you're right. His expression carried a lingering doubt, but he quickly maxed it with a small smile, his eyes dim. In that case, you'll be staying? The way he said it almost sounded like a decision that's already been made. Or a plea. What do you mean? His eyes darted aside. You agreed to let me find Petal, remember? Did I say that? Yeah. So, you'll be staying a while longer, right? He didn't even let me get a word in. In fact, a feeling of uncertainty washed over me as if we've had this conversation before. I don't think I. Besides, what's the rush? It's already late, and you're in no condition to travel anyway. I blinked before glancing out the window. Pitch black darkness greeted me as I realized he was right. Yet another uncanny feeling spread through my chest, shivers crawling down my spine. I don't know why, but something about this whole situation felt wrong. I feel like I'm forgetting something else. Mychael had a nervous look on his face. Maybe you hit your head harder than you thought? His words didn't sound confident. How long was I out? A couple of hours, I think. You, really took a hit. It was that bad? My brows creased as I tried to recall today's events. But I don't remember tripping. There was a river. I remember you. And then... My memory must be fuzzy. And for good reason. After all, it's been... My stomach rumbled suddenly, echoing in a quiet room. There was a heavy silence right after. Mychael was polite enough to hide his chuckle under a palm as I flushed. He seemed relieved. Well, lucky for you. I've got dinner on the way. It should be ready soon. You're okay with soup, right? Soup? Soup sounds alright. My stomach growled once more, the pain of an empty gut making me wince a bit. My host had noticed immediately. Oh, maybe we should get you some food sooner than later. Do you feel okay to get up? I nodded with a grumble, swinging my legs over the side of the bed, before noticing something was on my lap. Wait, what's this? I bundled the pile of... Aww! It's so sweet! I unbundled the pile of a thick fabric, realizing it was an oversized sweater and a pair of baggy sweatpants. A mushroom pattern. That's oddly cute. The material felt warm, but comfortable. A towel laid right next to them. Is this for me? Oh, I figured since you'd be staying another night, you will want some fresh clothes. They might be a few sizes bigger. Or a lot. Sorry. He's gotten shy for some reason. On the other hand, I don't have to take a whiff at myself to know that I probably reek. I nodded again, giving him a small but grateful smile. They're fine, Mychael. Thank you. Yet, another thing I had to owe him. I couldn't help feeling like I'm taking advantage of his kindness now. So, you know where the bathroom is. Take your time, clean up. I'll be in the kitchen if you need anything. I'm really happy you're here. He stood there for a good few seconds, fidgeting with his hands, as if he wanted to say more before finally heading to the kitchen. I watched his back retreat before hoisting myself up and heading to the bathroom. Now that I was alone, I had a moment to gather my thoughts. The nagging feeling was back, a prickling feeling across my skin, rising goosebumps of fight. To tell me I shouldn't be here. I just couldn't place a finger on what. I can't be mean to him. I'm sorry, but I don't have the guts to be mean to him. I should be careful, or I was probably just being paranoid. I was just probably being paranoid. I don't have the guts. I'm sorry. I don't have the guts. He's so sweet, even though he is, I don't know, doing something hypnotic with that mushroom tail. Then again, it's been a while since I showered, so I could chalk it up to dirty accumulating on me and make me itch in places I didn't want to think about. After undressing, I folded my clothes so I could place them in my backpack later before turning on the shower. The water was ice cold. My teeth shattered as I cleaned myself as fast as I could, using some scentless soap by the side of the tub. Dressing myself again, I wrung out my hair as best as I could before drying it with the towel. Putting on the clothes Mychael provided, I felt like I had shrunk in size. I adjusted the sleeves and waistbands to my liking with some struggling, just so my hands and feet could poke out of the holes comfortably. I couldn't help noticing his clothes smelled like freshly cut grass with a smoke hint of woodsy bonfire. The scent reminded me of a camping summer. Percent and double aside, I definitely felt way better than compared to when I woke up. Stepping out, I can smell something good coming from the kitchen. A gentle humming greeted me as I came through the doorway. Mychael was idly stirring a pot by the stove, looking up at me as I entered the kitchen. Whatever he had in that pot made my stomach grumble yet again. His eyes flickered as he registered the clothes I was wearing. How do they fit? I shrugged. They're definitely bigger on me. He nodded, turning back to the pot. I see that. I wasn't sure what you normally wear, so I went with whatever I had that was. He struggled to pick a word. Coziest. I gave a hum of agreement, fiddling with the hem of his sweater. Oh my God! Oh my goodness. Oh God, girl. We gotta save this. You're telling me I can flirt? Oh no. No. You don't want to give me that option. You never want to give me the option of flirting or get away. Because I'm going to choose the one that embarrasses the shit out of me. Is this option going to embarrass me any further than I already embarrassed myself? Flirt or goof around? Goof around seems like something very cute, but I want to flirt. I want to see where that goes. Oh, I'm getting my flirt on. Was I really about to do this? I guess I was. With the confidence of a courting peacock. Oh, honey. Oh, no. With the confidence of a courting peacock. Oh, honey, that is not... No. You want confidence of a courting peacock. You gotta, like, pull your chair back. And then you gotta be like, get a girl. Get your girl. Take her to the floor. Show her how you roll. Drop it. Now drop it low. Drop it. Now drop it low. I am so sorry, Mychael. Oh, my God. That's how you court Gamery style, not a peacock, okay? That's how you court my way, baby. Oh my God. I'm sorry, everybody, but the first thing that came into my mind was the Rio. That's the first thing. When I read courting peacock, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do this my way. Can't believe I remember. Get it, girl. Get your girl. Take her to the floor. Show her how you roll. Now drop it low. Drop it low. All right, I gotta stop before I embarrass myself any further. Oh, honey, he about to be blue as a blueberry, because that's what I'm aiming for. If he don't know these type of moves, then he ain't the right one for me. With the confidence of a courting peacock, with nothing to lose, I leaned against the doorway, making sure to prop my hip in just the right angle against the end. Oh, honey, that's not how you flirt. Like I told you before, you gotta go with that confidence, and you gotta be singing that type of song, okay? He's gonna be just looking at you, all memorized when you just sing it. Get it, girl, get your girl, take her to the floor, show her how you roll. Now drop it low, drop it low. He's gonna be all bewildered, and he's gonna fall for you. You gotta trust me on this. You too. Use that in real life, and they're gonna fall for you. Life advice by Gamery. I think I look good in your clothes, and maybe I should wear them more often. With how baggy your clothes were on me, I probably looked closer to a sentient sack of potatoes than a human being. Mychael must have sensed something was different with my tone, as he gave a confused chuckle, with his tail noticeably swishing side to side. I guess you could say that. Now, I'm pretty sure most of them won't fit right. Unturned, I continued on. I can help find something more comfortable. I send the smoothest wink I can master. Oh, God! Girl, no, I'm flopping. I'm a flopping. Listen, all of y'all got to take my advice on this. Just go with the confidence of a peacock singing that song straight at your lover's face, and they will fall for you, okay? I need to see this. They're going to fall for you, so just do it. Wink. Pathetic wink. Nailed it. He seemed to consider my offer. I thought I found some right outfit, but you can look through the closet for something you like now that you're awake. Do you have something in your eye? I straightened subtly. I'm just trying something, I guess. Trying what? Never mind. What's cooking, good looking? That's the reaction that gets him? Dude, that's the freaking reaction that gets you all flustered. What's cooking, good looking? That's like the lamest, cheesiest shit anybody could come up with. And yet you're over here flustered. Does my peacock courtship do not intrigue you, mister? Ugh. Listen, just sing the song. Just trust me on this. It doesn't work on him. He didn't watch Rio. Okay? It doesn't work on him. He has excuses. He didn't watch Rio. But I'll forgive you, sweet boy. Just what's cooking good looking? Against all odds, his cheek actually began to color, his hand stirring the pot flatterer for a brief second. What? Wait, this might actually work. I blustered my efforts, leaning forward with another smile. You heard me. You said. He hasted to repeat it. Well, maybe you should get your eyes checked? Yeah, that was a terrible idea. I cleared my throat awkwardly. Thank you for the clothes. He must have sensed something wrong again as he quickly tried to salvage whatever the hell was going on. For what it's worth, you look very Katrician? What? Karashin? I'm sorry. Whatever it was that he said sounded severely strange clicks of the tongue. But with vowels. Somehow. What? He huffed, waving his tail waving side to side like a metronome. It means... He trailed off. I guess in your language it will mean... cute. Aww. It's my smile flattered as he fidgeted. We stared at each other. I might actually have a chance. Girl, just go for it. The color on his face was closer to a blueberry the longer I looked at him. I knew he would turn into a blueberry. There was an awfully awkward tension before I broke it with a nervous laugh. Cute. And in fact, I could have sworn I heard a whimper in panic. Oh my goodness, he's whimpering in panic. His face. His face is as blue as a blueberry. I am mission accomplished. It's so cute. I'm dying of this cuteness. The situation was absurd. I had to laugh harder. Was that so hard to say? He sputtered. I didn't think you'd be comfortable with me saying that. Why not? Well, you know. What do I know? My grin was teasing, and he picked up that quickly. His nervousness dissipating as he gave a sharp huff. His hand stirred the pot faster. So, I called you cute. It's not a big deal. Then why is your face so blue like it is? He made another choking noise. I started about. It's just the heat from the stove. I'm cooking my best here. I snickered at his terrible excuse. You're a bad liar. But it's true. Stovetops don't do that. Mine does. Oh, a glaring contest ensued before we ended up bursting in a fit of giggles, my face warming from the silly banter. The kettle started whistling then, cutting our moment's shirt. He seemed disappointed by the shift in atmosphere, but quickly moved to pick it up. Why don't you take a seat, Firefly? I'll be right with you. He already turned his back towards me to start preparing the tea. I slowly approached him. Hey, let me help you this time. Mychael started surprisingly to see me beside him. Oh, sure. Could you get some bowls ready? We're having tomato soup. Oh, do you want some grilled cheese with yours? Or would you prefer garlic bread? Garlic bread, baby. Got it. I brushed past him, feeling his tail lingering by my ankle as I grabbed the bowls and spoons from the bottom shelf. Oh, girl, he flirting with you. He started preparing the sides. The smell of toasted bread filled the kitchen and mingled with the soups. I took over preparing the tea. Finally, I ladled the soup from the pot in a large bowl just as Mychael finished flipping the last piece. We settled in for a nice hot dinner. All right, I'm just going to save this real quick because I want to see how the playful banter is. I want to see how the goofing around is. Now that I know, I want to see how the goofing around is. Now that I know that none of it is like a bad option, it's safe for me to go back because I don't want to do any bad options. He's so much of a sweetheart to be mean, even though he's doing these type of hypnotic things, but honestly, he doesn't know any better. I mean, he's been secluded in the woods. He doesn't know any better, but still, I don't know. It's up to somebody to really teach him the right path and that it's not cool to do that. You know what I mean? But I don't want to say anything mean. But now that I can goof around, I want to goof around. Let's see what goof around leads me to. I fisted the sweater by the sides, flapping it back and forth. It really was so ridiculously baggy on me. I had to spout whatever nonsense that came to my mind before my brain could filter it. Look at all the free yarn real estate. Mychael did a whole body freeze, his hands stilling as the pot bobbled merrily. Free real what? Free yarn real estate. Is that supposed to make sense? Because it feels like another one of those things you say just to mess with me. I don't need to explain myself. He narrowed his eyes. Explain. I generally can't. Then why say it in the first place? By the look on my face, it was clear I was just messing with him. Mychael. Why does anyone say anything at all? Perhaps it was just a spur of the moment to express themselves with declarations of spontaneously a whimsy. His expressions flickered between confusion, doubt, and maybe even a smudge of grief. Do you make it a habit to talk nonsense all the time? Only sometimes. He turned his focus back on stirring silently heavily. I should have left you in the dirt. Ouch! I gasped. He smiled. Okay, so he's capable of this. Okay, touche. That's kind of cute. Was that a threat? No. That was a threat. It was not. Jail for Mychael. Jail for 1,000 years. His ears flattened against his head in amusement, the tip of his tail flickering in playful irritation. I deserve jail for speaking my truth? Yes, absolutely. He laughed again. You're ridiculous. You know that. Hey, not my fault you can't keep up. I am what I am. A Grenkon is what you are. Grekhan. I mean, I know he clicks his tongue. Grekhen. I don't know. I don't mean to make fun, but I know I read before that he clicks his tongue with these type of vowels. Grekhan? I can't pronounce it, dude. I'm sorry. I blinked. It sounded like he gargled a bag of marbles. Oh, okay. He gargled a grekon, like a bag of marbles. Whatever the hell it was, he said. A what? His eyes squinted, a triumphant grin mirroring mine was just a few seconds ago gracing his face. Oh, now he's smirking. Doesn't feel good, does it? I scuffled, folding my arms as I leaned against the counter. Whatever. I could totally say Grehargenkan. He burst into laughter. That is not how you say it. Grahagekan? That's even worse. Refusing to back down, my hand shot out to poke his side. Oh. Did he just yelp? Surprisingly, he yelped, his hand nearly letting go of the label. Oh, you're ticklish. What was that? What was that? Wait a second. Has he never been... I gave another curious poke, to which he swatted away my hand with a panicked look to his face. Stop that. Are you ticklish? What does that mean? What did you just do? Oh. Oh, this is wonderful news. Before I could even consider a strategic frontal assault, the kettle started to whistle. Mychael turned towards it, clueless as to what would have ensued otherwise. Someday, Mychael. Someday. All right, I'm going to go back. I like the flirting option. I want the flirt option. We settled in for a nice hot dinner. Regardless of how I felt about tomato soup, Mychael's turned out rich and creamy with an amazing balance of sour and sweet. The fragrant garlic bread added the perfect texture to the meal, practically melting in my mouth with every bite. A simple combustion of bread slices toasted in a buttery garlic spread, dipped in fancy ketchup, had no business being this good. There's still a few of filtered awkwardness, but the food helped ease us both into a warmer, lighthearted conversation. I didn't realize how hungry I was until I refilled my bowl. Mychael watching me with his chin propped in his hand. His own bowl sat empty. Apparently he already had his fill. Is tomato soup your favorite? His question was innocent though his eyes were observing me carefully as I shrugged. I think I love anything you cook. He stilled, taking a second to process what I said. Oh, well, thank you. No, thank you. Usually, I get takeout or microwave dinners. Nothing beats home-cooked food. What's a microwave? I snickered and tried to explain it the best I can. A metal box that heats up food. That sounds like What's the World in those fantasy books. Magic? Am I using the word right? I laughed lightly. Sometimes science is just like that. We talked about another kitchen appliances off the top of my head, slowly bracing out to the other human inventions. He seemed even more interested. I never understood how technology worked. I pulled out my phone and let him fiddle with it. Through with the battery dead, there's not much I could show. He was clearly disappointed. It's about as useful as a brick. For now. Otherwise, I had a whole network of information in my hands. His eyes lit up. Like a library? And you could access it anytime as long as the battery is alive? As long as I have an internet connection? Right. Internet. I didn't know you could do that. I just see people staring at them all the time. It seemed boring. He looked at the phone again, a look of wonder in his face. Having a whole library in your hands. Everyone must be really smart then. Well, not everyone uses it like a library, more like a messaging hub or a source of content consumption. His eyes flicked as he stared at me with a blank smile. Consumption? You can eat it? Yeah, he has no clue what I'm talking about. How do I explain to him the very concept of Web 2.0? I cleared my throat, deciding that I simply won't. Maybe I could show you what I mean someday. His eyes brightened, seemingly to like that idea a lot. You mean that? I can have some. Yeah. I think it's about time you start getting a little more modern around here. No offense. Imagine what you could do with a generator. His smile widened just a tad, though. There's still a cluelessness to his face that it was still a little endearing. Generator? I laughed and realized I crossed to pat his head, a gesture that made his smile wobble. Like I said, I'll show you someday. A loud thud sounded across the floorboard, followed by rhythmic thundering. Leaning over, I could see the tip of his tail. Oh my God, is he wagging his tail? His tail, oh my God, he is wagging his tail. Leaning over, I can see the tip of his tail was wagging back and forth, the tip of it slapping against the floor almost comically. Mychael looked flustered as he laughed softly, pulling his hand back to rub his neck. Sorry. He looked like he had more to say, but exhaled heavily, gathering himself before tilting his chin towards my empty bowl. Are you done? I nodded as he stood and collected our dirty dishes, heading towards the sink and washing them. I followed close behind, carrying the mugs. We made quick work of the dishes, heading back to the living room to relax. Mychael headed to the basket of knitting materials, his movements routine. I wasn't sure what to do with myself. I looked over at Mychael as he pulled out the stool from the corner of the room towards the front of the fireplace. His ear flicked in my direction before he returned my glance. Do you knit? A little. His smile softened. A little is enough sometimes. Can I see what you're working on? He looked surprised, not expecting my interest. Sure. Something to work in my own downtime. Halfway through, I started to realize that maybe it's not really my color. He lifted it up to me to see, only for my foot to kick the basket and sending a bowl of yarn towards it. Yeah, sorry. I quickly followed after it, only to halt as I spotted something underneath the bed. It was a glint of bright firelight within the room. Approaching the bed and tilting my head lower, I could see it was a tin container the size of a shoebox. What's that? Mychael looked up. Under your bed. Is this something important? A hesitant look came across his face. Oh, just some emergency supplies. Nothing too special. I had an inkling it was something more, but I figured I'd let him speak his privacy without prying anymore. I see. Mychael watched me for a moment or two before clearing his throat. Hey, Firefly. I've been meaning to ask. Do you remember what you said at the river? The river. Oh, where I tripped. I pressed my lips in thought. Not really. Everything feels fuzzy to me. He seemed disappointed. Oh, not even a little? I shook my head. Why? Did I say something stupid? Just some things. It made me happy. Oh God, I think I did really say something stupid. Before I could ask about him, he already gestured towards the bed. Well, you should get some sleep, Firefly. You want to wake up nice and early to find Petal, right? The idea of looking for the cat once more made me wilt. You really think we'll find him? Mychael looked on the edge, pocketing his hands. It doesn't hurt to try. But it does hurt to hope. His face twitched. Well, His eyes flattened as he thought of something to say, clearly struggling. He finally opened his mouth to respond, his words slow and carefully. I'm here for you. Thank you, Mychael. He nodded, a strange mixture of polite happiness and hidden anxiety playing across his face. He probably not used to another person sticking around this long, let alone someone going through a loss he could care less about. Maybe I've been enough of a burden to him. Actually, can you just send me home? His brow raised, his posture straightened in his surprise. Are you sure? But what about Petal? Don't you want to see if we can find him? I'm sure. A look of apprehension crossed his face. But it's so soon. Petal could be out there. Mychael, please. I can't think about him right now. I just want to go home. He fidgeted with the sleeves of his cardigan. But He looked like he had so much more to say. But whatever turmoil going on in his head was quickly swept beyond a reassuring smile. Okay. Get some sleep, Firefly. You've been through a lot. He went to collect his blanket, once already arranging them in a nest like the night before. The words left in my mouth before I could even think twice. Do you want to use the bed tonight? Girl, what? Whoa. Listen, I am not desperate, okay? I may have a couple of videos out there of me being desperate over... Yeah, no, I did not say that. Okay, you know what? You're probably reading into my dots, but yeah, don't look desperate, girl. Don't look desperate. Oh my God. He stopped in his tracks. Oh, no, I don't mind the floor. I meant we'd be sharing the bed. Hearing it out loud just made me want to slap myself across the face. Girl, you're giving me secondhand embarrassment here. Mychael blinked at me before laughing lightly. My bed's too small for two people, don't you think? I don't think I'll be comfortable for either of us. He eyed the bed frame before looking back at me. I'll be all right. With that, he crouched on the floor and started setting up his bed, his tail swaying lazily. I laid down and faced the wall, the sharp sting of embarrassment in my chest refusing to go away. Why did I ask that? That was so stupid. Maybe I need a sense of comfort. Or maybe I just need him. Whatever, it was at least he took it at face value. I wasn't sure what I'd even do if he said yes. I groaned internally and shut my eyes, willing myself to go to sleep. Is he gonna look at me again? Oh no, he's knitting. Oh, that's so cute. He's knitting. I can hear the knitting. The last thing I heard was the gentle crackling of the fireplace, accompanied by Mychael's knitting needles clicking away in the dark. Before I knew it, I can hear birds chirping outside the window. The first thing I noticed was the fire must have been out, considering I couldn't hear the familiar pop and snap that came with the room's ambience. The second thing I realized was the hand gently shaking my shoulder awake. Wake up, sleepyhead. I stirred, yawning as I sat up in the bed. Mychael beamed, a hand still on my shoulder. There you are. Had a good sleep? I mumbled incoherently. His smile widened into a grin as I blinked myself out of the woozy state. If I didn't know any better, he seemed to enjoy waking me up in the morning just to see my disgruntled expressions. Breakfast is ready. Wash up and meet me in the kitchen, all right? Give me a second. He took that as my accent, humming his response. Suddenly, his hand reached up to ruffle my hair, messing up my bedhead further. Hey! He merely laughed at the indigent squeak before remunerating me once more to get up. His steps already thunding towards the kitchen. Recovering after a moment, I stared at the wall and pondered my situation for a second as I made my way to the bathroom. This was the third day. Okay, so this is the third day. Got it. Thank you. Thank you. This was the third day since I left my house. I'm missing work, missing my cat, and missing my sense of direction. I gotta get back to my life. Today. Quietly reminding myself of the goal, I padded to the bathroom, freshened up, and joined him in the kitchen. Mychael was already seated, cutting into some pancakes. His smile was bright as I entered the kitchen, his tail flickering close to my seat as I sat down. A similar stack of mouth-watering pancakes was placed across him, waiting for me to dig in. Though I couldn't bring myself to muster up an appetite, with so many thoughts filling up my head, he seemed to notice the look on my face, laughing nervously. You look serious. Something on your mind, Firefly? I picked up the fork, twiddling with it. I'm just worried about getting home. Mychael flattered as he lifted a piece to his mouth. Oh, you're still thinking about that. He seemed annoyed, which was a first. Of course. I've been gone for 3 days. People probably think I'm gone missing. His gaze lowered, almost grumbling. Isn't that so bad? I what? Yeah, it's bad. Why do you sound like you don't even care? Mychael frowned, looking up at me now. Why do you sound like you're desperate to leave? What? It's all you ever think about. Are you not happy here? Isn't that enough? I sighed, rubbing my fingers over my eyes. Mychael, we gone over this. I said it once and I'll say it again. You've done so much for me already. But I can't keep pretending everything's okay here. I want to go home. I need to go home. He sucked in a deep breath, grunting something indecipherable under his breath. I only wanted to. He seemed to be battling himself before he finally sighed. I'm sorry. You're right. Of course, you're right. His tone seemed genuine, even if hurt in his eyes were clear as day. I'll send you back today. I narrowed my eyes. I mean it this time. I promise. He held his hand over his chest. I swear on my heart. Aww. Of course we'll trust him, even though he's been doing something to me. I mean, how could I not trust him? He was my last hope. Okay. I paused for a moment before adding quickly. Thank you. He nodded and went back to eating, watching me expectantly as he took a timid bite. It was a moment before he swallowed and spoke again. Can you promise me something? His voice was quiet and, for the lack of a better word, vulnerable. What is it? Promise me. His mouth hung open for a second or two before he laughed. Promise me you weren't lying when you said you liked my cooking. I snorted. Are you kidding? Do I look like the kind of person to lie? I'm offended, Mychael. He laughed again, light and airy. But if I dared to look closely, I can tell it was fake. He probably didn't want to make our last moments tense and awkward. The least I could do was meet him halfway. Aw. Before we're long, we found ourselves walking down another path from Michael's. The route was different today, probably because he didn't have any detours in mind. We walked in silence for a while. The only thing accompanying us were the sounds of nature of our footsteps. I could tell why Michael was thinking. I knew he wasn't the talkative type, unless spoken to, but right now, he seemed eerily quiet. His back was tense, eyes looking nowhere but forward. My voice was itching to say something, anything, but it felt like the both of us had some thought to distinguish, despite it being easier to say it out loud. Still, the silence was getting unbearable. So, we both halted in our steps at the sound of rustling, Michael's ear perking in our direction. What was that? His hands were already raising to hold his crossbow, definitely cocking it while any experienced pull of the string until a solid click was heard. Well, girl, at least you know you are very protected. Stay quiet. Stay close. I swallowed, my heart picking up speed. He started stalking low towards the source of the noise, his boots barely making a sound compared to my clumsy footsteps. The rustling continued, sounding like a scuffle was occurring between the bushes. Closer, closer, until my ears picked up an unfamiliar high-pitched sound. It sounded like a tiny infant screaming. As morbid as that was, Michael already relaxed as he recognized it. His steps hastened silently towards the source, crossbow lowering until we came across what exactly it was that caused the disturbance. A rabbit? Its small, delicate foot snagged in an old rusted trap. Its little body trembled as it breathed fast and swallowed, no doubt scared out of its mind. Michael, regarding it emphatically before unloading his crossbow, disturbed by the caught rabbit, but at the same time relieved at the absence of threat. Just a rabbit. Sweeping his crossbow behind his back and out of sight, he looked at it for another moment before looking up towards me. Let's keep going then. My mouth dropped in shock. And leave that poor thing behind? He raised a brow, confused at my bewilderment. Yes. But it's going to die. His face twisted in confusion. That's generally what happens to prey animals, yes. He was so nonchalant about it. I had to keep my emotions in check. We can't do that. Look at it. His expression was understanding, if a little annoyed. I am. Someone left a trap. A rabbit got caught in it. That's how it works. What do you want me to do? Set it free. Obviously. He was frowning now. I can't. If someone is nearby, they'll be suspicious how their catch got free. Does that matter? Animals escape traps all the time. The poor thing is suffering. Gamery, I know you're smarter than this. If it doesn't die today, it'll die tomorrow. To a trap, to a fox, to a hunter. It probably won't even survive long with its injured foot if we set it free. You're prolonging the inevitable. Can you put it out of its misery then? He hesitated. Do you really want me to do that? No. But even then, we don't even know if anyone's coming back for it. That looks so old. He sighed impatiently, looking stubborn in his decision. That's the point of a trap. It's to keep things right where they are until you come back. The way he said it just rubbed me the wrong way. I can't be mean. I mean, he is realistic. In a way, his logic made sense, but still, and could hardly believe how needlessly callous he was being. For someone so sweet with his hands, he was so indifferent about the poor rabbit shaking at her feet. I looked down at it once more, my heart breaking as it startled to squeak. Mychael, please? Please? My heart was torn as the rabbit helplessly kicked its feet, its cries weakening. For a moment, I imagined Petal being caught in a trap, just like this one, left to starve and die when someone could have been there to help him. No, we can't leave it like this. Please, Mychael. His harsh gaze started to soften at my plea. Does it really matter that much to you, Firefly? I nodded quickly without hesitation. Please. It'll be the last time I'll ever ask for anything. He paused for another moment before shaking his head with a defeated sigh. Somehow, I doubt it's the last time. There was a smile in his voice, though. But all right. I'll do it for you. Stand back. I'll have to pry it open. My gratitude was clear of my face as he pulled out a deadly-looking hunting knife from his pocket. Kneeling down next to the rabbit? Holy guacamole, he had a hunting knife? Jesus, this guy is... Hey, at least my character is nice and protected. Girl, I got you a catch. I got you a catch. The terrified creature started to writhe all over again at the sign of a looming threat, Mychael grunting as he held it down firmly with one hand. It started to fall still under his hold, relaxing completely with its foot hanging limp. Huh? He sure had a way with animals. I backed away to give him space, not wanting to distract him. As he was working to free the rabbit, I looked around to take in my surroundings. The trees somewhat familiar, a flash of memory playing in my mind. Casting one last glance towards Mychael's back, I wandered a bit further away, making sure to stay within earshot. Oh no, did I get a freaking bad ending again? It took a few steps before I came across a familiar sight. Oh. Damn it. It was the circle of mushrooms from the other day. I recalled that Petal was definitely here. I hesitated at the moment of it, a sourceless sense of fear suddenly coursing through me as I stared at it. Had it grown bigger? The longer I stood there, the more the fear dispatched, my limbs tingling pleasantly and urging me forward. Before I realized it, my foot was already lifting to approach it. Closer, closer. Staring at it, a fuzzy haze crept over my mind. My face was warm. I found myself smiling at the oddly comforting familiarity, like recalling a fond memory, like greeting an old friend. I knelt down to inspect the grove, reaching out to brush my hand on one of the mushroom caps. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! Okay, that startled me. I was like so engulfed in the storytelling, like that startled me. I saved the game, okay? I saved the game, so if I need to reload, I need to reload. But Jesus, that startled me bad. Okay, when someone yanked my wrist back. What? Don't. Huh? Don't touch those. I looked up to see Mychael looming over me, gaze sharp and irises shaped like thin silvers. You have a trembly habit of wandering off, don't you? I gulped. I just. How is the rabbit? Is it safe? His eyes narrowed as I failed to change the subject. It's free, like you asked. Don't touch those. Mychael squeezed my wrist before letting go. I rubbed my wrist. It didn't hurt, but his grip had intent. Why? What's wrong with them? Nothing. Just don't touch them. I just thought it looked pretty, that's all. Did you, though? Oh, shit. Here we go again. Did you, though? I shook my head, feeling disorientated as my mind flickered between thoughts rapidly, like a broken radio station. Mychael snapped his fingers for my attention. Look at me, Firefly. His voice was snippy and irritated. I blinked rapidly to ground myself, scratching my head as I tried to gather my thoughts. Talk to me. Say anything. Some people think they're magic? Yeah, that's pretty common belief with mushroom rings, isn't it? Hung onto that thought. Keep going. Like, related to fae folk, you know? It's what they call fairy rings or a fairy circle. Mychael squinted before easing his demeanor just a little less tense compared to before. They do look like they could summon a portal at any moment and whisk you away. I looked over at Mychael, expecting him to look amused. Instead, he was glaring down at the ground as if the mushrooms were the most vile thing he ever seen. No. It's more of an invasive species than anything else. I followed his gaze towards the harmless circle of fungus. They are? Should we do something about it? He blinked as if coming out of a daze. No. Sorry. I just, thought that slipped out. He pinched his nose bridged, his normally soft voice a tired grumble. Normally I will leave them alone to do their business, but having you here... Anyway, don't touch it, okay? He was being far too uptight about something as trivial as a circle of mushrooms. It feels like there's more to it than that. His size was inexasperated. They just grew into my part of the forest is all. They make me uncomfortable. It definitely felt like Mychael wanted to use a stronger word than uncomfortable, a barely concealed growl between his teeth. Why? I thought you liked mushrooms. Mychael's ears flattened. Not these ones. They're not even real mushrooms. They're not? No. He seemed to hesitate before blurting. They just happen to mimic mushrooms. Oh. I never heard of something like that. Though there are pretty wild foliage out there that could copy the look of nearby plants. Does it have a name? His brows scrunched in confusions. What? Them? Yeah. You know, as in species. Oh. I'm not entirely sure. I can recognize them by sight, though, so just stick with me when we're out of the woods, okay? I really don't want you anywhere near them. All right, if you say so. I just don't get how they can be invasive is all. I consider it invasive when they come on my property. Is he really getting this angry over cute mushrooms? I'm gonna be honest. You're acting really weird about it, Mychael. He was getting more agitated the longer we stood there, hands clenching into tight fists. Gamery, I know I've asked a lot from you, but please, let's just leave them alone, okay? Why? There's something. Can we not do this, dude? Can we not do this, okay? Can we not do the jump scare thing? I'm not supposed to be jump scaring until September. That's when I'm starting my horror games here. Look, can we just... I flinched, backing away from him as his voice rang through the trees. A silence passed between us before he took a deep breath. I'm sorry. Please, can we just step away from here? He held out his hand. His fingers were trembling. I feel bad. I'll take his hand. I closed my hand around his, noting the way his tail flickered so hard it thumped against my leg. His fingers were calloused against my own, twitching at the unfamiliar sensation. I stepped up behind him, looking at him expectantly. Oh, I didn't think you'd take it. Now it was my turn to get flustered. You offered? I know I did. I thought I scared you, so I figured. We waited for the other to say something. Our faces grow heated as seconds passed. Aww. He finally laughed, explaining something strange and garbled before squeezing my hand. Gamery, you're really something special. I hope you realize that. He gave my hand another tight squeeze, snapping me out of my daydream. Let's get you home, Firefly. Mychael took the lead, his footing sure and confident. He must have noticed my unsteady gait beside him as he subtly veered towards a clear path I could easily follow. I didn't verbalize it, but I was definitely grateful for that. As much as this forest was growing on me, getting my feet caught in roots and twigs every few steps gets tiring after a while. Our steps fell into rhythm next to each other. I peeked at Mychael every once in a while, trying to gauge his move after what happened. Even after spending so much time with him, he was so difficult to read. How can someone both wear their heart on their sleeves yet keep it stitched tight, never letting anyone come too close? I knew he had secrets he wanted to keep close to his chest, but I wished he'd just open up to me a little. The silence that hung in the air was making my skin prickle. What's your favorite animal? I was so caught up in my thoughts, I didn't even realize I blurted the first thing that came to mind. Mychael regarded my curiosity, ears flickered. My favorite animal? He pressed his lips in thought before his ears perked. Jellyfish. I had to take a double take. It was one thing for him to have an answer so readily, but the choice was something else. A jelly? Why jellyfish? I thought it'd be, I don't know, a bird or something. He shrugged. They're pretty to look at least from pictures I've seen. Plus, I kind of relate to them. He said that without zero hesitation. How exactly do you relate to a jellyfish? His expression flattered, as if deciding on the right way he could explain his answers. Let's just say I have something in common with a jellyfish. Well, one jellyfish. In what way? That they're pretty to look at? A strangled noise slipped past his throat. No. You wouldn't get it. Try me. No. Touch. Touch. Touch? Touch what? You know, touch. I stared at him, his happy grin shifting in a confused frown. You know, touch, when it's like saying you're right. You mean touche? He smiled innocently. Yeah. This man will be the death of me. I mean, he's too cute. He laughed at my screwed up grimace, waving a hand hastily. What about you? What's your favorite animal? Your chickens! He looked taken aback, clearly not expecting that answer. Really? Yeah. Who wouldn't fall in love with a little darlings? He seemed pleased with that answer. He already wide smiled softly further. You're right. Who wouldn't fall in love with a little darling? Aww. He has good pickup lines. I hate to admit it, but he has really good pickup lines. That was a good one. And my character don't fall for him. I swear to God, I'm going to smack my character. But that's a really, really good pickup line. We continued with idle chatter after that. I didn't even know how much time had passed as this tree slowly thinned out. The sound of nature muffling as the canupa started to grow sacred. Suddenly, I heard the soft yet familiar rumble of a car in the distance. I almost didn't pick up on it, fully immersed in whatever Mychael was rambling about. Something about the life cycle of a topsy-turvy dorney or whatever it is he called it. Oh, had we really walked that far already? I leapt to Mychael's side and rushed forward. He made a sound of surprise but followed suit. I neared the edge of the forest just as another car drove past. I recognized my street instantly. Breaking into a light jog, I almost missed Mychael calling for my name as I ran down this road. There! My house was visible from where I stood by the street. I was breathing heavily by the time Mychael approached my side, the man barely making a sound as I took in the sight. Oh, I missed this. I turned to thank Mychael, only to start with a bundled stranger took his place. Ah! Aww! He looks so cute! Sorry. People about. I couldn't see anyone around, but I guess he was right to be safe. I guess this was his version of a disguise? If I were to pass him on the street, I don't think I would have bothered to look twice. I mean, I want to say thank you to your face, but I'll settle for this, I guess. His chuckle was muffled underneath the scarf. He pulled it down so he could speak properly. Did I scare you? I got distracted. Mychael's eyes squinted from where I can see them. And I wonder how you get lost every 20 steps. Hey! He laughed at my offended tone. You better not go back in there, got it? I'm not always going to be around to find you. Who says I need you around to find me? Almost instantly, his eyes hardened under his sunglasses. I'm serious. Don't go wandering into the woods again, or I may have to start taking drastic measures just to make sure you stay put right where you are. I sputtered indistinguishably. I wonder where I plays. Sure. He looked over my shoulder towards my house. So that's where you live, huh? Looks cozy. I wasn't sure if he was being generally considerate or he lived in a wooden back ends of the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, I perked up with a thought. Do you want to come by? His eyes started toward me, shock evident on his face. Me? To your home? I nodded. He froze completely. For a second, I thought he stopped breathing. I'd love to... Oh! Did he get scared? Sudden barking and a shout startled us both. My body jerked forward as his arms yanked me close. Aww. I heard a soft rustle as his sunglasses fell to the grass. From the sudden motion, he hesitantly wore a beanie shaked off his head. Looking up, it was just my neighbor calling out to their dog. Oh, looks like Vida's back from college. I paused, feeling his grip tighten. I looked down at his hands on my shoulder before glancing up at him. Mychael. He snapped back to the present, his hands releasing me quickly. Sorry. He looked towards my neighbor and their dog for another moment before turning back to me. I don't think it's a good idea for me to go with you. I don't want to be seen. I deflated just a little. But you have your disguise, don't you? He shook his head instantly. I can't risk it. It's better this way. He spoke with a finality that was starting to become familiar. If he wasn't willing, fine. At least I was. Before he could pick up his accessories, I gently grabbed his wrist. Then, can I come visit you instead? What? I huffed impatiently. If you won't come to mine, then I'll go to yours. Once again, he was rendered speechless. Why would you ever want to see me again? At this point, I was starting to look and sound peeved. For all his good traits, the constant need to build his walls higher around me was starting to get annoying. I folded my arms, looking stern. His eyes widened as if preparation, ears flattened like a cat in the middle of a scolding. Mychael, can you just accept the fact that maybe I enjoy your company and wouldn't mind more? I'm sorry, nobody's ever... But you wanted to go home so badly. Oh, this man is hopeless. Yes, of course I do. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna forget about you completely. Besides, I promised I'd show you what a phone could do, didn't I? In dismissing the fact that there's probably not much I can show him when there's no data in the woods. I'm sure he'd be enthralled by whatever dinky mobile game I had installed at the time. The point was, I just wanted to see him again. So that means I get to see you again? I picked up on the eager tone in his voice, realizing he wished for the same sentiment. Yeah, I want to. His voice warbled for a second. Firefly. He cleared his throat, laughing to himself. Gamery. You can't imagine how much that means to me. A lot. It means a lot. More than you know. I nodded, a giddy smile creeping onto my face. How's next weekend? He tilted his head. That's 7 sundowns from now? 5. His smile widened, eyes squinting in absolute delight. Okay. I'll meet you here then. I smiled at him, figuring this was goodbye. Oh, let's hug him. Oh no. I didn't think twice, arms spread and wrapped around him before he can react. Mychael froze from head to toe, inhaling sharply as his shoulders tensed. For a second, I thought I triggered a flight or freeze response. It took a few seconds before he shifted to recuperate, lightly placing his hands on the small of my back and a loose hold, fingertips splayed awkwardly along my spine. Aw, he's purring again. He seemed to gain confidence as he wrapped his arms around me properly, a shaking sign leaving his body as he relaxed. A faint rhythmic rumbling emanated from his chest. My eyes widened at the strange feeling. Was he purring? I knew I heard that sound before, but he was definitely purring. I didn't have time to dwell on it for long. Uh-oh. His grip was getting tighter. 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 I was about to explode. Oh my goodness. I mean, he doesn't know how to control his strength neither. You can't really blame the dude. When another car passing by made him jump and realize me, I had to step away to catch my breath after the squeeze. His arms dropped to his sides with a blank stare in my directions. Oh. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see his hands clutching tightly as if holding himself back. I looked up at him, expecting him to say something first. Instead, he just stared at me like I grew a third eye. I quickly cleared my throat, cheeks starting to burn. Anyways, I gave him one last light punch to the shoulder. It felt like punching a sack of grains. I'll see you next weekend. Ignoring the heat on my face, I looked both ways before jogging across the street. Ah. My neighbor in their yard looked up as I approached, their eyes lighting up in recognition. Gamery! Their hands fidgeted with the frisbee and the hand as they approached their ever-loyal lackey following close behind. I was wondering where you've been. I dropped by to give you some cake over the weekend, but you weren't home. And you didn't answer your phone, and your packages were piling up the door, and... I held my hands up in a plaintive gesture. Vita, I'm fine. Even the dog's like, chill. At our feet, Lackey was desperately pawing at their elbow to keep them down. Their mouths stopped midway through another sentence, blinking rapidly. Sorry. They reached down to pat Lackey's head, significantly calmer as they asked me again. Where were you? Where have you been? I was, visiting a friend for a digital detox. Off the grid and all that. They blinked, slowly nodding. Oh, that sounds exciting. But the tone of their voice didn't mean that at all. Oh, what about Petal? Did you manage to find him? My mood instantly dropped. No. That's why I went away in the first place. You can say it took a few seconds for Vida to understand what I meant. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. They straightened a flash of empathy on their face before they smiled. Well, Lucky and I are around for a semester break, if you need anything. We should do a movie night, yeah? Maybe that'll lift your spirits. I found this really good one. I think you'll like it. I did some research, and I feel like it's really up your alley. Lucky and I could take a real drive to the store, so just let us know when you're up for it. I can get your favorite snack and stuff. Lucky gave a happy bark at the familiar word. A fond smile quirked my lips. Thank you, Vida. I'll bring the orange soda. Their expression lit up happily. Take care. I bid them both goodbye to walk up my driveway. Once I got to my door, I had an urge to turn around one last time. I was surprised to see Mychael still standing by the forest edge, shadowing by the trees. Our eyes made contact, with his own, a fierce, piercing yellow shining against the shade. I gave him a big wave. It took a moment, but he waved back. Smiling to himself, I unlocked the front door and let myself in. It was surreal standing in my doorway again. I felt like Alice who just woke up at the end of a book, feeling like I've dreamed of Wonderland. I tossed my keys and my backpack by the hole, carelessly before plugging my phone into the charger. I dreaded playing catch up with the people who might have turned to reach me during my absence. Work, family, friends. I groaned aloud, flopping at the living room couch. Ah well, at least I had this weekend to look forward to. That's all for day 3. Oh, come on. I knew there was like day 3, but I didn't suspect the story to be this good. I really liked it. I want to continue. This. More updates coming in the future. Tell me what you think of the game. Thank you for playing. Nuggets. This game is good. I will admit it. I really, really, really got hooked on it. I mean, I was like, you know me, if anything is like really long, I usually cut it into 2 parts. So that way I don't really waste my recordings. But I literally just sat here and for, let me see, about 5 hours. I literally sat here for 5 hours engulfed in the story. This is really, really good. Definitely check out the link in the description down below. As always, don't forget to like and sub. And I hope you enjoy this novel of Mushroom Oasis. I will definitely catch you on the next episode. Bye bye.